questions and answers. Welcome to our May 5th live car shopping strategies. My name is Deshone. I'm known as Deshone the Auto Advisor. And over the next 60 to 90 minutes, I'm going to be sharing what we call the cars from home philosophy, the way you can shop, get bids, make your car buying simple, empower yourself, and guarantee that you did not leave any money on the table. We're going to talk about a lot of things you may not be familiar with. We're going to talk about things you have not heard before. We're going to tear back some mindsets that the car business has programmed in us for their profit. And we're going to tear down those mindsets because they're costing us thousands and they're making the greediest dealers in this country thousands of dollars. And we're going to get rid of that. So this show is sponsored by my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. So I wrote that book to give you everything I know, everything I learned at Mercedes-Benz, at General Motors, running my own brokerage, and the hundreds of people, thousands now, that we've helped since 2021 to empower themselves in their car purchases. So part of my welcome offer to you is it's normally $97. You can get it for $24. That's my welcome offer for 30 minutes, anytime during the broadcast. As we go, you can get yours in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, and the Facebook comments. It's a 75% off discount as part of my welcome offer for those of you who take action. And you'll have everything we teach here for the rest of your life. And you'll be able to move the same way you're going to hear me move and the way a lot of people I'm going to show you guys are moving. So no questions off limits. Feel free to start typing your questions. We are live on Instagram, TikTok. Hang on. I got Instagram up here. My man Dolan is moderating, so we're going to try to pull in every single one of your questions. Again, this is our May 5th live. We are live. It is Monday, so let's get to the questions. Okay, we got some coming in already on TikTok, Dolan. I see it is what it is. I'm just going to pull that one. I need to do one on shady mechanic shops. You should. If that's your area of expertise, the public needs to know from someone who's an insider what is going on in mechanic shops. I'm sure they get a lot of value. If you guys want, it is what it is to launch a channel teaching people how to avoid shady mechanic sites. Type ones in the chat so he can know that he should go ahead and do that, or she. I can't see if you're a man or woman. But let's get some questions going. Yosoy Tommy, I see you on TikTok. Interested in leasing, but I know I will go over the mileage. I drive a lot. Well, here's what you do. Give you an example. I'm leasing right now. I've never needed more than a 15,000 mile per year lease. So all of my leases have been 12,000 miles. I've never needed more than a 15,000 mile per year lease. Now, sometimes, that was because my family worked a little further from where we lived. We got a 15,000 mile per year lease, but most of the time I'm getting 12 because that's what I need. That's what I use. Now I'm paying $499 a month for this $55,000 Infinity truck. I got a 1% lease on it. I got my bids, the way we teach at Cars from Home. We're big on multiple offers. That's the only way you're going to save the big money and guarantee you got all the money is to get multiple bids. We teach you how to do that. You can do it by phone too. If you want to try to do it by phone, God bless you. We do it through email. We do it through emails and templates, and that's what we do. But I'm paying $499 a month for 12,000 miles. Now, let's just say I needed 15,000 miles. I would have bumped that lease up, and instead of $499, I'd be paying probably $30 more. So call it $530. Now, let's say I'm a high mileage driver at 20,000 miles. That instead of $530, I would probably be paying $620. And there I got my 20,000 miles per year. So the key is, and this is what you'll hear, people will blame the leases for not understanding that they choose the mileage. The mileage is not selected for you unless you go into a dealer and say, hey, work me up a lease. And then they're going to choose the mileage, probably give you 10,000 miles per year, and then try to close you on that. But that's not the way we shop. We're going to shop and we're going to adjust our miles based on what we need. So if I needed 20,000 miles per year, I would probably be paying $620 instead of $499. If I needed 25,000 miles per year, I would probably be paying $680. So I'm just paying, we get what we need and we enjoy our leases. because when we buy these cars and we drive ridiculous miles, we depreciate our cars, we destroy the value, and then we still have a loan on it in a lot of cases for a vehicle that we have destroyed the value in because we put 60,000 miles on it in 3 years. So our loan is moving very slow, but our vehicle's value is dropping through the ground very fast, which is typically how we end up with $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 in negative equity. I used to see it all the time in dealerships, especially when I was in when Uber took off. When Uber took off, year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, we had tons of people coming in with Hondas, coming in with various cars that had 200,000 miles on them, but they still had 3 and 4 year loans left. And, that's just a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for disaster. So you should not be leasing, though, if you keep your cars 8 years. Some of you familiar with the 8-year rule, you understand. Everyone should not be leasing. I want to make that clear. Some people say, Deshone, you believe everyone should be leasing? No, I don't. If you are not keeping your cars 8 years, then you should be shopping for below market leases. Don't forget those 2 words, below market leases. Because if you're paying what everyone else is paying for their leases, it's not going to make sense. Some of these strategies are not going to make sense. You need to be getting below market leases. And the way we do that is to comparison shop, get multiple offers from dealers, have them compete for our business, and then we get these leases that no one else can get. Great question. So what if I go over 20,000 miles? What do you recommend doing? You choose your mileage wisely. In my book, I have a section called Choosing Your Mileage Wisely. The whole key with leasing is to scope out the mileage you're going to use, and that's what you shop for. If you know you're going to do 25,000 miles that year, you would do 25,000 miles on your lease. But you don't shop this way. We always shop with 12. A problem with leasing is once again, you go into the dealership, you say, work me up a lease. They're going to work you up what they want. They're going to say, hey, put 5,000 down. Who's had that happen? You go and you look for a lease and they tell you how much money you need to put down. Type me if you've had that happen. And again, welcome to everybody. This is our May 5th live. It's Monday, May 5th. Whether you're watching this today or you're watching this later today, because we will be rerunning this for those who couldn't make the show. Tell your friend they can catch it on our channels. But this is our live show. We're live every single Monday through Thursday at 12 noon. So you'll see people who will go and get blessed transition. You've had this happen. This is what you go in. They work you up a lease. Here, you need 3,000 down. Yeah, you need 3,000 plus your taxes and fees. What do you want to do? So that's them customizing our leases. We never want to do this. We want to customize our lease and run it like this, a template. All your leases you get with, ready? 12,000 miles per year. First month's payment only due at signing. That's it. 12,000 miles per year. First month's payment only due at signing. That is how you shop all of your lease offers, because this allows you to now use the 1% rule, which I didn't create. A lot of lease savvy people know about the 1% rule, where your MSRP, I'm going to just show an example of an MSRP, the price on the window sticker. Every lease is going to be brand new, guys, or either close to it. The price on the window sticker is the price we go by, the MSRP, and we're going to divide our monthly payment into the MSRP. And once we get that, the number, that's going to tell us if we got a 1% lease, if we got a 1.5% lease, if we got a 1.8% lease. And what we did was I created the 1.5% rule to know we were overpaying for leases. You don't have value when you lease something over 1.5%. But let's keep it to the point. The point is you're shopping all your leases, first month's payment due at signing, 12,000 miles per year, and then you're using the 1% to 1.5% rule to gauge the value. Once you find your best offer, that's when you go and you say, can you please adjust the mileage down to 10,000 because that's all I need, or up to 15,000 or 18,000. You shop your offers with 12. You find your best offer concerning what value is, 1%, 1.2%, 1.4%. You lock that up, and then you tell them, show me what the payment will be with 20,000 miles per year or 15,000 miles per year. That's going to keep you from walking into these 80% dealers which are never going to give you a below market deal, when they drop their prices, they're never going to drop low enough to beat their competition. That's why their name of the game is them keeping you from checking their competition. And then you avoid these people, you find those deals, and then you adjust the mileage with that dealer. But choosing your mileage is very important with a lease. And that's why you should take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, tally up your lifestyle over the next 3 years, and you choose your mileage that you need. Great question. Let's go, Dolan. I'm getting married today. Congratulations to Ash on Facebook, everybody. Ash is getting married today. Congratulations. May God bless you with a healthy, lifelong marriage. Hallelujah. All right. Angel on YouTube says, can I lease for 36 months, then purchase to have a lower payment instead of buying at a higher payment? Now, what he's asking or she's asking is, I want this new car, but if I buy the new car, then I'm going to have to pay for the new car, in which case it's too unaffordable. So can I lease it first and then buy the difference at the end? Yes, you can. Let's talk about why that's not that financially wise. There are signals, guys, that tell us we are looking at vehicles that are too expensive for us. Signals. Would anyone on here take a 50-year mortgage? Anybody? Anybody? We got some smart people on here. Anybody volunteering for the 50-year mortgage, ladies and gentlemen? Anybody? Come on, somebody. No, why not? Why not? Why is everybody saying no to the 50-year mortgage? Because we know it's ingrained in us that a 50-year mortgage on a house means we can't afford that house, right? Same thing with cars. There's signals. And so when we cannot finance a brand new car and it's affordable, what should we be doing? We should be going to get a pre-owned car. That's what we should be doing. So some of you have the luxury where you could afford both a new version of the car you want, and you can afford a pre-owned version, of course. So you might say, Deshone, I could afford both. I want this car, but I could afford, which one should I get, new or pre-owned? Thank you to the new gifter, Jeffrey Jones. Welcome. The Black King. Thank you so much. Gifter badges. Appreciate everyone who supports this broadcast. Thank you so much. You helped me to keep this information going. So what you're saying is, I could afford both. Which one should I get? In that case, it's a matter of your values. Do you want a brand new car? You want to treat yourself? You only get it every 10 years. So it's like, hey, I only get a new car every 10 years. I'm going to treat myself to a brand new one. Curtis Thomas, thank you for sharing. Or you might say, you know what? I want to go to value play. Even though I could afford a new one, I want to knock 20, 30, 40% off the price, and I want to get me a pre-owned version. So that's the people who could afford both. Some of you, you're like Angel, who like, I want this car, but I can't afford it new. In which case, you go pre-owned. Because you don't want to you don't want to lease a car 3 years, even if you get a below market lease deal, great lease payment, turn around and buy the difference, because you're typically going to need a 5 or 6 year loan for the difference. Once you get that 5 or 6 year loan, you add that to your 3 years that you leased the car, and you got 8 to 9 years of payments on the exact same car. 8 to 9 years of payments on the same car. This does not make financial sense to pay that long on a car. This is, you can't reach the reward stage where the car is paid off and you're putting money to the side for maintenance and repairs. You know, you got a paid off car, because the goal with purchasing is to get to that long-term ownership where the car is paid off. I don't owe anything on it. You know, I got a couple $100 I put to the side for maintenance and upkeep, but that's all. That car is paid off. I can keep that thing for 15 years. I can pass it down to my son, my daughter. We got an extra car in the family. That is the value of purchasing. So if you have a payment for 8 years on a car, you don't get to that stage. So that's why before I would ever recommend someone lease and then purchase the balance, I would recommend someone purchase a quality pre-owned car and get it at a below market price. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, everything that we're talking about, guys, is in my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Has everything we teach, because the name of the game is learning how to structure your deals. When should I lease? When should I purchase? And then once you have your structure, getting bids on everything to make sure you don't leave any money on the table. When you get bids on everything, you're never going to lose any money on your trade-in, because you didn't just get one offer on your trade-in, you got bids. You're never going to overpay for your interest rate, because you didn't get one offer on your loan, you got bids. You're never going to overpay for the new car or the used car you're buying, because you didn't get one offer on it, you got bids. And that empowers you to control the transaction. That is what we teach. That's in my new digital book, step by step. You can get your copy for 75% off, normally $97, but it's part of our welcome offer for 30 minutes. You got it in my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments for $24. Okay, enjoy it, use it. All right, let's keep it going. I need to buy a car. I want to know how to buy the advertised new the new SUV vehicle for under $10,000 or even under $20,000. I don't really understand the question. Let me read it again. I need to buy a car, and I want to know how to buy the advertised new vehicle for under $10,000 or even under $20,000. Are you saying that's the discount you're looking for, or are you saying that is my budget? Please let me know. I don't quite understand. Go ahead to the next one, Dolan. All right. If the Carfax report only has service maintenance, is it okay to purchase? Okay, so all right, this is a great question, guys. This is about used cars. Who's going to be shopping for a used car in the next year? Type the letter U. Type the letter U if you're going to be shopping for a used car in the next year. And for those who just joined, this is our Monday, May 5th, live car shopping strategies. So we are live every Monday through Thursday at 12. And for those of you who are watching the rebroadcast later in the day, you can, you'll get your questions answered. Somebody might ask a similar question, or you can join us Monday through Thursday at 12 live. Yes, so we got a lot of people who are going to be shopping for a used car. We got Buffy on Instagram, Fran Bar. Who else? A lot of people not buying? Okay. Instagram, the only people buying used cars? Okay, well, let's talk to you guys. Listen, so here's when you're looking at a used car, what you're focused on is first the service record. First the title history. What is the title history? That means, is it a salvage car? Is it a frame damage car? Is it a now, well, let's start first. Where do we find these cars? Let's start there. We're not going to lots. We're not stumbling onto people's lots. That's what they want. We do not want to go through our neighborhoods looking for used cars. Anybody who does not have a used car on a website, they're trying to take advantage of you, because that is unadvertised, that they don't want to be where the competition is. That is not the way we're going to move. And for years, it was like that. You drive past a dealership on the weekend, you see hey, oh, look, they got this nice yellow car, a nice big red car outside, and you just pull right in. That's 2005 stuff. Now, every used car, we need to be able to compare it to the whole market, which means we need to see it on a website, on a marketplace. So we're opening up, this is called my multiple marketplace strategy. We are opening up, and some of you are going to need a pen if you're going to really, or unless you're going to watch the rebroadcast, because I'm running stuff past you that, you're trying to buy a $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 car. We're not talking about how you're going to get a couple things from Amazon and, set up a little home studio for $2,000. We're talking about the second most expensive purchase most of you are going to make. So it's understand that you're going to need to focus in order to get the most out of what we're talking about. So we're going to go to the marketplaces. The marketplaces are Carvana. They sell their own inventory. CarMax, they sell their own used car inventory. Driveway, they sell their own used car inventory. We're going to go to now dealerships. AutoNation, they sell other people, they sell their own. They buy and they relist it on their website. But then you have Car Gurus, you have Carfax, you have Kelly's Blue Book, no, not Kelly's Blue Book. You have Auto Trader, Car Gurus. So we're going to all these marketplaces, we open them right up in one tab. So now what we're doing is we're putting in our criteria, and what we want to do, we want to go 100 miles out. Even if you're not willing to drive 100 miles out, you want to see what the whole market looks like within 100 miles. So now, if you know what you can afford, then you can put in your price criteria. I have a tool that I created. It's called the Perfect Budget Calculator. Some people who have my book, you've used it, where you put in your down payment preferred, you put in your interest rate, you put in any equity from your old car, and it tells you, because what you tend to miss is the fees. That's what you tend to miss. So if you're not using this calculator that we created, you want to add another $2,000 or so, because you got to factor in the fees in that budget. Some of you go out and say, man, I think I could afford $30,000. Then when you find your car, they bump you up to $33,000 because you didn't factor in the taxes and fees. So this calculator does it for you in my book, and everything we use the Perfect Budget Calculator. But if you're not using it, just estimate another, a little higher. Now you put all of that into the marketplaces. Now you're looking for what the inventory is. Now, here's the reason why you must open up all these marketplaces. First reason, they have different cars on them. Carvana and CarMax has different cars than Car Gurus, Cars.com, Auto Trader. There's different cars on them. Another reason we need to open it up is because sometimes you'll see one car here on Car Gurus for $31,000, and then you'll see that on Auto Trader they marked it down $2,000. It's $29,000. And you're like, wait, why the heck is it lower? This is the same car. Well, it could be because this marketplace got the notification first to lower the price, and maybe this one takes a little longer to see that. Oh, maybe that takes 24 hours before their updates take effect. So that's why you want to open up all these marketplaces. Now you're narrowing this down first based on your color choices, what options you want, your models, and now we're starting to narrow this thing down. So we're narrowing it down. Now we start to look at the history of these cars. This is the best way to start narrowing down your used car search. Let's now dive into the history. I need the Carfax. Now, some of these websites will give you a free Carfax. Some of them will try to make you buy a Carfax. Now, I'm going to give you one of the secret strategies that we've been using for years in my book, and I'll tell you it right now. It is how we get free Carfaxes, because when we get to most vehicles, you guys, for those of you who are just meeting me, I worked in Mercedes-Benz for 5 years and General Motors for 5 years, and I ran my own brokerage. I started it in 2016, and I ran that while I worked at the car dealership. So I have a lot of experience and have seen a lot, and that's why I'm able to teach these things. I also love numbers. But one of the things that I know is almost every dealership has a contract with Carfax. So every dealership, we pay Carfax already. So what we're able to do is when we list our inventory on our websites, we're able to list the Carfax with it. We're able to provide that free of charge. But when we pay Auto Trader or Cars.com or Car Gurus, we are not able to actually push our Carfax to that marketplace. But if you come to our website and you find the vehicle on our website, most times you will find the Carfax for free. That is what we have been doing for years. So that now we have the Carfax, because the Carfax is the only way we can see those service records right now, because we've already narrowed it down based on, first thing we're doing is we're looking at title history, frame damage, salvage title, rebuilt title, total loss. That's the type of vehicle. The next thing we're doing to narrow it down, which is where many of you get in trouble, is you're looking at the service records. Skipping service records, buying used cars without seeing service records is disaster. The biggest indicator on if a vehicle was taken care of is what is on those service records. And if you can't see those service records, then I would not buy the car. Somebody say, oh, I'm changing the oil myself. If you don't have proof that you have changed the oil yourself, I cannot see it. I cannot see that you have maintenance this car, and that's a turnoff for me. Because now when you drive that car a year later, 2 years later, things start happening. You have no one to blame but yourself. Now the regret kicks in. Man, I knew I shouldn't have got this. But chances are, if you find a quality vehicle and you see service records on that previous owner's report, that's going to lead to a quality experience. Okay, so that's pretty much how the initial part of our multiple marketplace strategy. As you can see, we have this to a science. Nothing that we're doing is by chance. Nothing we're doing is on a whim. That is it. But let's go to some more questions. And I think the biggest thing I want everyone to understand so far is that we don't wing anything in this process. There's nothing, everything that I'm teaching you is going to be out of our system. Now, some of you have different learning styles. So let's address this. Again, welcome to our May 5th, Monday, May 5th live. We're live Monday through Thursdays at 12 noon. And we rebroadcast this for those who couldn't make it. You can share this with your family. Tell them, hey, visit Deshone the Auto Advisor's channel. He did a great show earlier. He answered some questions that everyone had. You can watch the broadcast all through the rest of the day. Now, but we're live every week, but we're live right now. So now the biggest, some of your learning style is different. What we teach is we have the ultimate do-it-yourself guide. This book is rated 5 stars. Thank you to everyone who's rated it on Goodreads. Just pull it up right here. For those of you who are actually on Instagram or YouTube, TikTok, you won't be able to see this right now. But the book is rated 5 stars. We appreciate you. And this is the ultimate do-it-yourself guide, whether you're new cars, used cars, leases, bad credit, how to make banks bid for your financing, high mileage driving. It's all in there, step by step. And it's a digital book, so you don't have to wait for it. As soon as you get your, hopefully you get there before the 30 minutes, so you get your copy for the $24 instead of the $97. That's our welcome offer. But that's your do-it-yourself guide. Some of you, you're a do-it-with-you person, and that's Shop with Deshone. You like videos instead of reading. You want coaching. You want support. You want a community. We have 1,600 people in our Facebook group. That's our Shop with Deshone. We've had 2,200, almost 2,300 people come before you. When you see me share people like Zafrina and like Melissa and Sheree, Ken, all of these people who are, they're showing their car deals that they got. Look, took me about 30 days. He went through, look, past Friday, locked down 2 vehicles, 2 Yukon 2025. Said he dropped he said, look, sold the BMW. They dropped the price down to 70 grand. So they took off like 5,200 for him. These are all people who are in the Shop with Deshone. Their learning style is they preferred videos. They preferred, coaching with me. But again, it's the same information. So I want to be clear. It's just your learning style. So if you are like Deshone, give me the blueprint and I will run this thing. That you're going to be like the people who send, like Marie. Marie just wanted to let you know she got our book. Using the book, I saved over $13,000 off MSRP. Now, here's where the feelings get hurt. And this is not my intention. But some of you have these same vehicles that you're going to see me sharing that our people get. And when you see what they paid for them and what they're getting off of them, you're going to see, wow, I did not get that. I did not get that type of discount. So all of you who have this 2025 GLC coupe fully loaded, she said they took $13,000 off MSRP. She got her bids from home, got my payment to be hundreds lower per month, maintenance included, no money down. We are masters at no money down deals. You should not be putting money into these cars unless you intend to keep them for 10 years and you got a great price already. You got a huge discount already. You should not be putting money into these cars. I have never done more than $1,500 out of my pocket for any lease. And when my car that I bought, I put money down on that because I bought it to keep it. But everything else, we are shopping with no money down. So you're going to see that a lot. So again, depending on your learning style, you can head to my bios and to the comment sections, open the Cars from Home Toolkit, Shop with Deshone might be right for you. I don't care how you get the information as long as you are saving the money. I don't care. If you could do it with a $24 book, do it with the book. I would rather you say, man, this guy Deshone helped me. I bought his book. I got it on the sale because he did the welcome offer for $24. And man, I done got 4, 5, 6 cars using this thing. And all I paid was $24. Congratulations. I will celebrate that. I wish that for everyone, but that's not everyone's learning style. So, okay, Dolan, let's keep it going. I'm sure we got a lot more questions coming in. Molly from Facebook, great to see you. Needed to be here. I'm glad. I just ordered a new vehicle last week, expected to arrive in 3 months. I need a breakdown of how to get out if the options they want, get out of the options they want to the MSRP. Well, first of all, what you want to do is you want to get bids now. You do not want to wait. Those of you, she's ordered a car. It's scheduled to be here in 3 months, and she has not locked in her pricing. Now, the reason when we order a car, we are always getting our bids first because the closer your car comes to arrival, the less leverage you have. They know once that car comes in there, she's been waiting for 3 months. She is not going to want to walk away from this car. She is not going to want to do this all over again. And they're going to probably take a shot and say, or if you look for a discount at that point, you probably are going to be like, no, I'm sorry, we can't give it to you. So what we're going to do is we have to now send that request out. Now, there's 2 ways for you guys to do this, whether you're leasing or purchasing new cars. 2 ways for you to do this. You can do it your way, which is calling around. Calling around, not going into dealers, calling around, ask for sales managers, try to get yourself at least 5 offers. Because the only way you're going to see how overpriced the offers are is to actually get multiple offers. So I'll give you an example. I'm showing you guys on the screen what a market report looks like. So we also have a division. We shop for people's new cars and their leases if they have good credit. So when you see, oh, I tried to pull it up. It's not loading. So what you're going to see, and some of you who've used our stuff, you can testify to this. There is a huge spread between the best price and the worst price. Huge spread. So in order for you to know you actually got the best price, you need to see 4 other offers that are higher. I'm going to say that again. Thank you to all the gifters on TikTok. Thank you, Jeffrey Jones. Appreciate it. You need to see other offers that are higher. So let's go back to my car. This dealer who won the bid for my Infinity truck saved me over $8,000. Now, he said to me when I was making the deal with him, he said he knew that I was not going to find a better offer because he had used a special coupon he had to apply towards the deal. He needed the deal that month, and that's why he won the bid. So he's able to take off $8,000. If I was purchasing, I would have got $8,000 off the price. But I leased it, so my lease payment was $499 a month with $1,270 down total. And $1,270, $499 of that was my first payment. So every other offer that I got, 560, 605, 640, 700, 750. That's how you know you did it right. If you don't have a bunch of the 80%, we call them. This is the 80%. Some of you've heard me say we don't negotiate with dealers with fake fees. It's a losing battle because even when they take off all the fees, they're still super high. I'm going back and forth by email. So if you're using what we teach, you're taking minutes out of your day. You're going back and forth with email. We close deals in 60 to 90 minutes. I'm not inviting anyone to car college. 60 to 90 minutes of emails back and forth. Next thing you know, we're closing a deal. But you're going to see, even after back and forth and telling the dealers through email, you can do it by phone. Hey, I'm shopping other dealers. Please make me your best offer. I have all the templates written. So when you're using our stuff, you don't even have to wonder what you're going to say. You just copy and paste our template. But even after that, you're going to see, wait, these people are still giving me super high prices, even though I told them I'm shopping, even though I told them I'm serious, I could buy the car right now. Even though I gave them every single thing I need to give them to get an offer, they're still $150 a month higher than my best offer. That's going to prove to you that they are the 80%. They are not coming down. When they say this is our best deal to their customers walking inside, they're not lying. It is their best deal. It is not the best deal. It is their best deal. Their competition's best deal will blow their best deal away. And the only way you do that is by getting bids. So that's what you need to do, Molly. Take exactly what you're looking for. If you want to call around, call some sales managers and say, hey, listen, this is what I'm looking for. I put in an order, but I'm not dead set on the price yet. Haven't really gotten, I want someone to lock in a price for me. And hopefully you're purchasing, because if you're leasing, it's tough, because once that lease comes in, you do not know what the lease program is going to be. So if the lease program is bad, then you could find yourself jammed up. Now, here's what we try to do to prevent that. It's not always possible. Here's what we try to do. Once you have found the best dealer who's won the bid, now what you're going to do is say, based on this price that you're selling me the car for, can you give me a lease estimate now? So let's say I'm ordering this Infiniti. I shop around, I find a dealer who says, all right, Deshone, I'll place the order. I'll take $6,000 off list price for you if you do the business with me. Perfect. Can you give me a lease quote based on that now? I know this is not the vehicle. My vehicle's coming, but can I get some type of an estimate of what it would be? And then I look at that, and if it's affordable, now I place my order. But I'm not placing an order for a lease blind, not knowing what my payment's going to be when that car gets here. Okay? Does that make sense? I know I may be typing, this is heavy. That's why I told you guys, when you're here with us in car buying, below market car buying strategies, this is like short 60 to 90 minute master classes. This is not lives where I'm showing you how to make macaroni and cheese and turkey and like, okay, yeah, you got your music playing in the background. Hey, listen, all right, what I need? Oh, hand me the Sazon. No, you could do multiple things. This is heavy finance talk for 60 to 90 minutes, and it will change your life. And I just saw my girl, Lisa. Lisa, good to see you. Lisa's been, she's been learning from us and rocking with cars from home. Let me see. I'm glad you clarified, even if no money down on the lease, you still really have to give them the first month's amount. Yes, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, buy or lease. No matter, I'm learning lots and sharing with my peeps. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Now, technically, you don't have to give them the first month's payment either. What I do is our templates all involve shopping, first month payment due at signing. But if I wanted to, so let's say, for example, on this $499 a month lease I got on the Infiniti, and I'll actually will add this because I'm glad you said that. The lease that's your first month's payment, so it's not considered money down. It's considered your first month's payment because you're leasing, you're paying 36 months or 39 months. We don't do 4-year leases. We don't even do 3.5-year leases in most cases. We're not doing it. It's 36 months, 39 months. And if they have a really, really good program for 2 years, they will tell us about it. But we shop for 36 months. But you can tell that if I wanted to tell them, you know what, I want to do a straight sign and drive. I don't even want to give you the $499 for the first payment, which means you're asking them to pay the first payment, then it would have just been $500 going back into the cap cost, which would raise the payment probably with interest and taxes, maybe 15, 17 bucks, something like that. So if I truly wanted to bring nothing to the table, I can just have them to, cap the first month's payment. You can do that. You can do that. So you can ask any questions. I know you're in our Facebook group, and so you let us know. But the 8-year rule is your basis for leasing versus buying. The 8-year rule, when you guys open up my book, you'll hear me talk about this. I'm going to make a whole lot more videos about the 8-year rule because it is the parameters for how to know whether to lease or buy. It takes into account how drastic cars depreciate. They lose value like crazy. All the losses are in the first 5 to 7 years, and you don't win until you've kept the car at least 8 years, compared to someone who's getting a below market lease. So let's take an example. You look at somebody like, look, Brian. Brian got my book. Just finalized my first ever lease using your system. 2025 HRV Sport all-wheel drive, $30,000, $505 MSRP. So this is a $31,000 vehicle almost, and he got it for $395 a month, which is a 1.2% lease, no money down. Now, his initial quote from this dealer was $434. This is the winning dealer. But in my book and in our systems, we have a counter offer calculator where we put all the offers we get into the calculator, and then it calculates the best offer and it tells us what to counter. So his initial quote was $434. He countered with the calculator and ended up closing his deal at $395. So these are the people that, for all of you who you're like, wow, are there any cars out there with a $300 payment anymore? Well, if you're buying a car, you are buying it at a $300 payment. You could only spend, who knows, every $5,000 on a vehicle is about how much per month? Every $5,000. When you're looking at a car, every $5,000 on a 5-year loan, which is what you should be defaulting to, is about how much per month. Thank you, Nikki. Nikki got a #1 gifter badge. And I don't really know what all of that stuff means, but I definitely appreciate it. The Black King, thank you so much. I just know it means you guys support the show. So I appreciate it. So who knows? Every Nucci Graham is and I wanna Nucci Graham will address you next, because as soon as you get your book, on the thank you page it says, "Thank you for your purchase. Click below to open your book." So we'll address that shortly. But okay, thank you, Lisa. Yes, every $5,000, and Nikki, $100. So this keeps you in the safe zone. When you are looking for how much loan I'm going to take, you are looking and saying, every $5,000 is going to cost me roughly $100 per month. So if I want to spend $400, then my loan needs to be about $20,000, which means I'm looking at this car. If I'm going to buy it for $23,000 plus fees, and I want to be at $400, I'm going to have to come up with some more money down, because I need to get my payment here. I need a $20,000 loan. I'm not going to go in looking at a $20,000 car and thinking, man, can they get me to $250 a month on this? No money down, because the math doesn't make sense. Because the only way they can get you to that is to put you in a 7 or 8 or 9 year loan, which is a horrible deal. And they've done it to a lot of people, because you go in and you just say, get me to this monthly payment. And they're like, well, you didn't say how long. You come in later, hey, man, my loan is, I remember, man, a guy called me, and this is, unfortunately, people are not trained to look at how long their loan is. Early in my career, I think I was still with General Motors, and a guy came in and he had some vehicle, And he was like, you know, D, could you look at this, man, and tell me, because I don't, you know, I'm trying to get out this thing, man. They telling me I can't get out of it now. That's a recipe. You bury yourself when you make these types of moves. They're saying I can't get out. I looked at his contract. It was a 96-month loan. 96-month loan. So he's in a 96-month loan at a high payment. He's going nowhere. And what it came from is him going in and saying, hey, get me to this payment. My payment's affordable, but how long is the payment? That determines what you're paying for the car. So when we say, yo, are there $300 payments out there? I'm showing you. Leasing, there's cars you can drive 30,000 miles, $30,000 cars, beautiful vehicles, payments in the threes when you're shopping and getting bids, and you're finding vehicles with great lease deals. At the same time, on a pre-owned car, that's only going to get you under 20 grand, between 15 and 20 grand. So it's about getting the most for your money. And getting the most for your money, you must take into account the 8-year rule. If I'm not keeping a car 8 years, I should be shopping for a below market lease. I'm not tying up any of my money in this car because I'm not keeping it long enough to have all of that money benefit me. Does that make sense? Type ones if that makes sense. Type dollar signs if that makes sense, because this is about money. If I'm not keeping the car 8 years, then all the money I'm going to tie up in the car to pay for it, to pay off the loan, to do the maintenance, to change the tires, to change the brakes, to change the oil, to change the brake fluid, the transmission, all of the money I'm putting in that car, just normal maintenance. I didn't say anything broke. Normal maintenance over 7 years. I'm not going to keep the car long enough to have that make sense. Whereas had I leased, I'm just below market leases. I'm just literally paying cents on the dollar, changing my oil. Most of the times I'm out the car before I need brakes, unless some of you are driving 15,000 mile a year leases, and then sometimes you will replace the brake, but it still does not compare to the cost of purchasing. And you know, throughout the show, I'm gonna show a lot more lease deals and a lot more discounts. But the reason why I show you guys the lease deals is because the money doesn't lie. Unless you're just hell bent on paying more, the money does not lie. You can't compare. When I was, you know, I'm driving $40,000 cars, my payments have a 3 in front of them, and my friends are driving $20,000 cars, and their payments have a 3 in front of them. And those cars are used, need maintenance, you know, warranties done ran out after 4 years. I'm over here driving brand new cars, problem free, and they're paying the same amount or more than me, and they're driving inferior products. And then once they really get tired of the car, they go ahead and they trade it in and they start the process all over again. So it's bad financial advice that the car business never trained on, and they just love for people to be ignorant. But we're not going to be ignorant here. All right, Dolan, let's keep it going. By the way, all of you who just joined, this is our Monday, May 5th live. We are live every Monday through Thursday at noon. So for those of you who may be watching the rebroadcast, we rebroadcast the show all through the day. So for those who missed the show, you can either, you know, or some of you want to tell your friends, oh, hey, you're shopping for a car, go watch this show. And we'll rebroadcast this show all through the day. And we rebroadcast all the episodes through the weekend. So for those of you who didn't have time, you're, man, I want to catch up on all the shows, all the questions that were asked. We'll rebroadcast those through the weekend. But we are live every Monday through Thursday between 12 and usually 1:30. You can have your friends and family tap in. You can bring your questions, and we try to get to as many as we can. All right, Dolan, let's keep it moving. Let's get to some more. What are the companies for loans? Well, there's a lot of them. First thing you want to do is, so we teach something called the bank bidding war. This is a question, because here's my question to you guys. Where do you get your car loans from? Here's my question to you. And I'm going to tell you how we should change the answer, because I know what some of your answers are going to be. Where do you get your car loan from? Some of you are going to say my bank. Some of you are going to say the credit union. Some of you are going to say the dealership. But all of those are not the answers we want to go with anymore. Here's the answer. You got it, Nikki. I love Nikki. Whoever gives me the best rate. That is going to be the answer moving forward. If you're using what we're teaching, that's your answer. Whoever gives me the best rate. What, in other words, whoever wins the bid. So what we're doing is we are not just going to our credit union and having them run our credit, give us a rate, and now we're going out and we're shopping with a check in hand and we're shopping with our back against the wall because the bank says, well, hey, you know, your pre-approval expires May 17th, so you hurry up and find a car or you're going to have to come back and run your credit again. Now we're over here and our bank is putting our back against the wall. That's ridiculous. So what we do is we use what you should do is you should look at the average interest rate. If you have average credit, look at the average interest rate, and then you use that to budget. Again, I have a calculator that we invented. It's a proprietary calculator. You can't find it on Google. It's in my book. It's in our course, Shop with Deshone, in our checklist, our video checklist. This is stuff that, again, we don't, if you notice stuff that I teach, it's not anywhere. Deshone, why can't I find the 8-year rule on YouTube? It's because it's Cars from Home. We created it. I can't find the 1.5% rule. No one else teaches it. That's because it's our intellectual property. We created it. I don't mind people saying it, but they need to understand we didn't find this stuff. We created the stuff. So calculators, we invented them. So this calculator you take this interest rate, but even if you want to use a standard payment estimator calculator, you can take just what I said. Remember, add a little bit more for the fees, because that's what you're not taking into account, the fees, the taxes, and that's where we get in trouble. My calculator, our perfect budget calculator, does that for you. So now you want to look at the average interest rate. Type in average rates for cars. Use that for your budget, just so you can know about how much car I can go and get. So between what I told you about the 5,000 being $100 a month, and that last part about, adding a little bit more and using the average interest rate, you should have a good gauge on a range of car to go and shop for. Now, once you now shop your market, whether you're shopping new or whether you're shopping pre-owned, once you find no one's touched your credit till now. No one has touched your credit with a hard pull, especially now. We do not, in order for this to work, like what Nikki is saying, where you're only giving your business to the bank or credit union that gives you the lowest APR. In order for this to work and for you to be able to shop freely, no pressure, you need to make sure you don't let anyone run your credit with a hard pull before you find your best deal on a car. Soft credit pulls, estimates of budgeting, the way I just said. Now, you go out, you find your car, whether it takes you a week or a month or 3 months. Bang, I found my car now. You lock the car up, put it under contract, you leave your deposit. You never, ever. How soon when you get a car does the dealership want you to take it? I like asking questions like this because we can prove how predictable most of the car business is. How soon after you purchase a car does the dealership want you to take it? Thank you, Janae. Immediately. Now, the reason for that is, there's various reasons. There's various reasons. Right then and there, Molly, yes. But what I want you guys to focus on is what you lose by taking it right then and there. You lose the ability to shop the interest rates. And shopping the interest rates is very important because you'll always wonder, could I have gotten a better rate? So what you do is you lock the car up, you let them know, hey, I'm going to go home, just give me my, let me get my paperwork so I know exactly how much I need to tell my bank. And here's the key, if you guys can beat what my bank or credit union gets says, then I'll give you the loan. See, some people think that I teach don't let the dealerships compete. I never teach that. What I teach is don't let the dealerships be your first offer ever. They are always your last offer, and they're competing against other offers that you got. So now you're going home, your car's waiting, you're going to see what your bank, your credit union can do, and then you go online. You can go right online. Auto loans online, auto financing online. Let all of these banks and credit unions access your credit now with the hard pull, because there is an article that Experian did, and you can find it at almost any credit bureau, wrote an article on rate shopping. They allow you to have multiple lenders compete for your business within a small period of time. They say the window is 14 to 45 days. So if the window is 14 to 45 days, how quick do y'all think I want you to do it? If the window says, because that's a big window, as long as you shop within that window, at the end, those multiple inquiries will have the same weight on your score as one inquiry, because it looks as if you were shopping and you were doing your due diligence. Thank you, Greg, Sheila, with these gifter badges. I don't know. It's like a nice. I appreciate it, Glendale. Thank you. So with these, when these banks are competing, what you're trying to do is say, everyone here on my end, we call this the bank bidding war. This is round two. Round two is you are bringing your car home. I'm sorry, you are at home. You're going online. You're calling your bank. You're calling your credit union. If you have one, you're going online. This will take you literally one day, not even. Just maybe take you an hour. Because if they say that the window to shop is between 14 and 45 days, I want you to do it in 24 hours. We want all the competition in 24 hours. Because that guarantees we are way within the window. They're going to look and see, wow, this person bought a car. They had multiple lenders competing in a small period of time. They're not out here just letting people run their credit over, every week. Some new banks running their credit. So now you call the dealership afterwards. You say, hey, the best offer I got was from such and such credit union or such and such bank. If you guys can beat it, I'll give you the business. You allow the dealer to now shop you to their banks. In which case, they're going to call you and say, hey, good news, we got you a better rate. Or, hey, good news, we couldn't beat the rate, but we can match it. In which case, they save you the time, they save you the paperwork. Or they're going to say, hey, listen, that's a great rate you got. We can't beat that. None of my banks can beat it. And in which case, we guarantee all around we got the best rate, which is the goal we're looking for. As Nikki said, I'm only giving my business to who gave me the best rate. That is the bank bidding war. So when you get your digital book, Cars from Home, you'll get that in writing. We also have it in our Shop with Deshone video checklist for those of you who are more do-it-with-me types. Again, we're all about your learning style. And some of you just like, Deshone, I see you. Can you shop for us? What are these? I'm seeing a lot of you guys shop for people, new cars, new cars, leases only. And you have to have good credit. Your FICO scores need to be over 670, all of them. But if you don't, again, same result. We've been helping people get these results since 2021. And again, I am all about speed. These are short videos. The book is boom, action steps, action, 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 action. I'm not trying to teach you everything about cars. I'm trying to walk you through a path, a 7-step path to get to the result you want all the time. Okay, I'm not taking you to car college. You're not going into the car business. You just need to know how to get the best deal. And that's what it's about, step by step. Okay, but for those of you who are just coming on, this whole show is sponsored by my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's a digital book. Everything we teach about new cars, used cars, leases, below market financing, high mileage driving tips, bad credit tips for those of you who have your credit is not going to qualify you for everything else we're talking about. You need specific strategy. We have that specifically for people with bad credit inside my book and inside Shop with Deshone. So that's why I never believe in one size fits all car buying advice, because all of you are in different situations. So how does somebody look saying, you all should do this? We're all in a different situation. I have a trade-in. He doesn't. He has a lease that's coming due. He doesn't. Oh, he has a lease that's coming due. He has equity in it. We need to help him get that equity out. He has a lease. It has an equity, but it has a third-party restriction. We can't talk to people the same. That's why everything we do is custom and letting you know, no matter what your situation is, it's very common to us. Very, very common. So, all right, let's keep it going. We got some more time, Dolan. Pull them up. More questions. All right, yeah, I see we got a couple more coming in on TikTok. How do I get the book? Well, the book is in my TikTok bio. In my Instagram bio, there's a website there. It's Cars from Home Toolkit. And then you'll see the welcome special for $24. So the book is normally $97, but as part of our welcome special, you got 30 minutes to get yours for $24. So you won't pay the $94. You get 75% off. We also have a link for you guys on Facebook and YouTube in the comment section so you can get your copy. And if you're going to spend a couple more minutes with us, I would appreciate if you share the broadcast with one person that you care about, so that can help. We can help get this information out, and we can help change lives. If you didn't receive your ebook, well, first of all, as soon as you purchase your book, you're going to see a thank you page. It says thank you. Screenshot this page, and then it says below, click the link below to open your book. So you actually get the link to open it as soon as you make the purchase. And then I say I also emailed you a copy. So sometimes people type their email in, one letter's wrong. Obviously, we can't send a book to an incorrect email, which is why I have my support team's email right on there, so that if you don't see that book within 5 to 10 minutes, you email my support team, hey, I didn't get the book. They'll get you the book right away. So as you can see, I want you to, Dolan, can you put up, do we have anywhere with we can put up the support team's email for this person? And just send an email to support. There you go. Thank you so much. Support at Deshone the Auto Advisor. Thank you, Dolan. Best moderator in the world. All right, so shoot them an email. Just let them know. Give them your first and last name, and they'll check the record, make sure that we have a purchase from you, and they'll send you your book right away, so you can dig right into it. Okay? All right, let's keep it. We work with clients all around the country. What I'll start doing, I wanted to bring some on here today, but I can't load them up. The system is showing an error. So I got a lot of people. I always bring tests. I always like to show results. So, you know, I'm a results person. So you'll see a lot of people that I share. Brian, who has our book, and, you know, his lease. Marie with her $13,000 off. All of these people made deals from home. They were not in a dealership negotiating this. You got, look, Frank, I bought your book, used your system, and just closed my deal and have positive results to report. I love when y'all email me, by the way. Like, please continue to do this. A caveat is I wanted a just released 2026 Genesis G70 Advanced, and there are no incentives. I could have gotten incentives on the 2025. However, I wanted the 2026, and I was willing to pay. So even with high demand cars, even with cars that are rare, this is the situation. I reached out to 20 dealers and I received 9 offers for 36 months, 12,000 miles on a $58,000 MSRP. The initial offers range from $1049 to $901 with everything in between. I counter offered using the calculator that we have and closed the deal at $815 on a $58,000 MSRP. That's a 1.4% deal. Now, mind you, that on a vehicle on a 2026 with no incentives, which means every bit of that was the dealer taking off money for him. He probably had to get at least $5-6 grand off to have that deal come in the 8s, when other dealers were quoting him 9 up to 10 and, you know, mid $1,000 range. So, you know, but so I show the book testimonials. I show my Shop with Deshone testimonials. But I want to start bringing these market reports so you guys could actually see that's our team shopping all around the country. And that allows us to stay, we're able to just stay on top of the market, like from state to state. It proves like this stuff is not, oh, if you're in New Jersey, the deals are better. Hey, if you're in Florida, the deals are better. If it's California, we don't have deals out here. All of this stuff is not true. And thank God we have people using the Cars from Home systems, be it by book or be it by our video checklist, or be it us shopping for people all around the country where we can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt. I can show you market reports from Texas, from Oklahoma, from South Dakota. We did a deal for a Mazda, a South Dakota deal, Nebraska, California, Florida, Georgia. We're shopping for people all around the country. And there's great deals everywhere in the country when you know how to make dealers bid. Because you're always going to find that 20% dealer who just wants to beat their competition. They're the best in the region. And you got to go out to find them. You got to have a system to find them. Because most of the dealers are not them. Most of the dealers are the 80%. That's just the way it works. It's a numbers game. And the 80% are very expensive. And when you walk into the 80%, they'll go down. You're like, oh, man, all right, can you take off? Can you get me down? Like, yeah, man, you're like $150 a month higher than where I could be, my max. And they go back and forth. They're like, man, I could take off $50 a month. Ah, man, that's the best you could do. And then next thing you know, you get down to 100. Yeah, all right, we'll take off $100 a month. And you're like, all right, I guess I'll take that. You don't realize that a 20% dealer, not only were they nowhere near your max budget, they were $100 less than your max. You're talking to the 80%. The 80%, when they come down, they're still here. The 20% are here. So you're over here with an 80% dealer walking into these dealers. 8 out of 10 dealers over here are 80% dealers. So y'all talking them down like this, and y'all thinking we winning. Oh, I talked them down to this. Meanwhile, the 20% dealers are here. 20% dealers will launch a bid. We gotta cut. Oh man, if this thing wasn't broken, tomorrow's show, I'm gonna bring on a lot more market reports. We got dealers who come right out. We getting offers 700, 790, 820. Dealer come right out 650. Boom, blow everybody away. Like, oh, let's go. We got a winner. Looks like we got a winner here. That's it. And then it becomes fun. As you can see, this is fun for us. When you change the way you shop and you start to you're going to be the prize. You're going to be the prize. So anyway, let's keep it moving. For those of you who have gotten your book, I look forward to you using it, empowering yourself, having these same results. For those who didn't know about the book, it is a digital book. You can get your copy for 75% off for 30 minutes in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, and the Facebook comment. And for those of you who've been on and you still don't quite trust us, you want to get started with maybe some free advice, go grab our cheat sheets. We have our free cheat sheets in my Cars from Home toolkit, totally free. Test us, look at the cheat sheets, look at the strategies, look at the emails I'm going to send, guiding. Like I don't play around. So if you want to just say, test out, let me hear some free advice, start with our cheat sheets. All right. Yes, I'd actually answered that when I read that comment, Dolan, on TikTok about do we work with clients in New Jersey and New York? Well, yes. When it comes to shopping done for you, if you open the Cars from Home toolkit and you're like, Deshone, I just want to relax at home. You guys go shop the market for me. If you have good credit, FICO scores over 670, and you have and you're shopping for a new car or a lease, you can book a call with us and we can see if we can help you. Book a 10-minute call. It's free. And we can see if we can help you. Is it best to lease a car if you're currently underwater? Ooh, if I was underwater right now, let's just say I have 15,000 negative equity. I made a bad deal during the pandemic. I'm upside down and I'm like, man, I got to get out of this car. But and first of all, I know I should be leasing because now we know the 8-year rule. The 8-year rule says if we're not buying our cars to keep them at least 8 years, we should be shopping for below market leases. We're going to pay a lot less money. Below market leases, not normal leases. Very important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually right now look for an electric vehicle that I could lease because some electric vehicles right now, we're getting under 1%. We're getting 0.88% leases. We're getting 0.79% leases, because if you do your bidding, you're going to see. Now, again, if you want to call around for your multiple offers, you can do that. I'd rather you call around than to do what you've been doing. I'd rather you, with your new cars and your leases, call around before you walk. That's better than what you've been doing. But if you're like, Deshone, I don't want to talk. I don't want to wonder what I'm going to say. I just want to copy and paste. That's the Cars from Home way. Either way, you get your 5 offers, and you're going to see now, my best offer on this $40,000 electric car might be $320 a month. So I'm now driving a $40,000 car. If I didn't have my negative equity, then I would be driving it for $320. But now I got to bring this negative equity over. Now, the reason why you want to look at these electric cars for this is because if you try to bring a bunch of negative equity over, what ends up happening is you're now messing up the loan to value ratios, and the bank won't approve it. So you might go in and look at a $40,000 car, and now you bring this 15 grand of negative equity, and the bank is saying, we're not going to loan $55,000 on a $40,000 car. We're not doing that. So that's when they'll say, some of you may have heard this before, you have to put money down. They'll say, we can't get you approved unless you can put $3,000 down, $5,000 down. You have too much negative equity, and the bank is not going to approve it all. But when you get your bids on some of these electric cars, you're going to get $10,000, $15,000 off. And this is specifically what I would be looking for. I would be looking for the electric vehicle that when I get my bids, I'm saving 15 to 18 to 20 grand off. And if you guys don't think that's possible, you haven't been here for long. You know, this is Milligan. She bought her Mercedes EQE last year. She literally, MSRP of her car was $79,245. She got almost $30,000 off the vehicle. Almost $30,000 off the vehicle. $51,359 is her price. $79,000 vehicle. She got it after rebates, after discounts, after everything. $51,359. So you take a vehicle that you can get a huge amount of money off, then you bring your negative equity over. So now that payment goes from $320. Yes, it might go up to $575 or $600 even. But I know I'm in a nice car now. I'm in a brand new car, and after 3 years, I'm done with that negative equity. So that's what I would be doing. And if God forbid the car gets totaled while you're driving, you're out of the negative equity in a lease. So if I rolled that negative equity, 15 grand over to this car, now I'm driving it. Boom. All right, I got this electric car. I'm out of the negative equity. I got a good value. I'm in a $40,000 car. My payment is affordable. Now I'm driving. Oh, shoot, car gets totaled. I'm out. I can go get me another car now. I can go and get the same exact car, but I can get it for $320 now. So, you know, that actually is the reason why people commit insurance fraud and total their cars or get them stolen intentionally. But no, that's just something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind. Because most of you, when you start leasing, you're going to see that was my reason for negative equity. That was my reason I kept having negative equity, is because I wasn't leasing. And that was the reason I was paying more money for cars than I should have, because I wasn't leasing. And again, the key is getting below market leases. You walk into a dealership and say, work me up a lease, you're not going to have these payments that, you know, we're talking about here. It has to be below market leases. That comes through multiple offers. Only way. All right, let's keep it going. A lot more questions. No gap then. Is that your first time leasing? Well, no, we'll get to that. I see it's a little conversation happening on TikTok over here. By the way, everyone, this is our Monday, May 5th live. We're live Monday through Thursday. Tell your friends, please. I would love for those of you who are going to keep joining us to see some friends tomorrow, family members tomorrow, co-workers. When you are at work, when you're talking to people, if they say they're car shopping, I would love for you to invite them to our live shows Monday through Thursday at 12. And if they couldn't make the show, we will rebroadcast each episode for the rest of the day. So after today, after we end the show, if you guys want to refresh on some things or you want to whatever, you want to send people, we will rebroadcast this episode for the rest of the day. And then on the weekends, we put together a weekly compilation. We broadcast them all just for the people who couldn't make the live shows. But every Monday through Thursday, we are here. And yes, happy Cinco de Mayo to you too, Nikki, and to everyone who celebrates. All right, what do you think about waiting till December month, mid-month to buy a vehicle? I do not. Dealers need cars to sell before that. It's a myth. All right, we're going to dispel a myth, okay? When have we been taught that the best time to buy a car is? Thank you to everyone running up the likes on TikTok. We're at 3,400 likes. Every time you hear something you like, you double tap the screen. That makes a big difference. It sends a message to TikTok that we're doing something good over here. Okay, end of the month. Yes, sweet now. End of the month. So we're gonna peel, like I told you guys when we started the broadcast, right? We are gonna, yes, Molly, last day of the month, right? So this is what we have been taught. Last day of the month, come on in. That's where your deals are, right? Let's look at this logically. As a former car salesperson, the times where where I saw the dealer or myself being the most desperate was the times where we did not have a lot of customers. Sometimes you look up, it's the 10th of the month. They call us into a sales meeting. They say, hey, guys, we got to sell 200 new cars this month. We are only at 40. We are way behind. We are tracking way behind. Call anyone you know who's a real customer. We are entertaining every reasonable offer. Now, you've been taught there's a group of people that we know are coming at the end of the month. There's a group of people that we know that last weekend they're going to rush. But there's no desperation there from us because we know they're coming. So we look and say, I'm much more desperate at various times throughout the month than I will be at the end of the month. Because think about it. Every time you go into the dealership at the end of the month, is it dead or busy? You go into the dealership most of the time at the end of the month, is it dead or busy? Thank you. It's a zoo. It's a zoo. Customers everywhere. That means all the car salesmen are not worried about making a deal. In fact, they're looking at you and saying, hey, Molly, thank you. Listen, I know you, look, I know the payment's $780 a month. I know you said you wanted to be at $499, but, we've been going back and forth. Can you work your way up, get closer to the $780? Because they know now we can take a shot. Because we have some other customers behind you, Molly. Did you see the people walking out? These people just walked out. They're mad. We don't have enough salesmen here. We got people waiting 40 minutes to speak with somebody. Do you think you're getting the best deal when that's the energy? Yes or no? Let's just be honest here. See, you might forget some of the lessons that we teach if you don't have our books and if you're not in our video checklist and coaching. You might forget some of the lessons, but hopefully you won't forget the stories. So you walk in the dealership at the end of the month, the place is a zoo. It's people everywhere. They're ringing bells. They got the big clown, donuts around. Hey, you want a donut? Do we think there's desperation? Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Molly. There's no desperation here. And they don't magically wait till the end of every month to hit their numbers. Some dealers hit their numbers at the 25th of the month. Numbers are hit. We still got people coming in end of the month. So What we want to do to answer the question is we want to be positioned. What I like you to do, for those of you who are in an emergency situation, you need a car in a week, in 2 weeks, that's fine. Everything we teach can guide you. We've had people who got their cars in 3 days. Like that's not something that is let's see. This is my second go around, much easier, more relaxing experience. Calculator definitely helps. Turned in my CRV, got a 2022 Marcus, some dealers wouldn't do. Somebody, I wanted to read you somebody who got their car in like 3 days, 5 days. That's normal. Again, like I said, we're not taking you to car college here. Like you know, our step-by-step programs can get you to your cars in less than a week, 90 minutes. But you don't want all your car shopping to be emergencies, because here's where you want to be. You want to be able to say no for up to 3 months. Reason is, there's a group of people that walk into the dealerships. They're there right now. They're desperate. They're giving off desperate energy. They can't say no. They back themselves into a corner for whatever reason. If their leases are up, maybe they don't know you can get an extension. If your lease is up this month, you can call. You can get yourself an extension for 1 month. Some leases will be extended up to 3 months, up to 6 months. Those of you who have cars and you're like, Deshone, I'm shopping for a new car, but I don't need it. I just, my car still got some life to it, but, I want to look for something new. This is a position of power to be in. This is where you want to be. You want to be able to say to yourself, all right, let me look at the offers this month in May. All right, I'm going to follow up next month because the offers change. The used car market changes. The lease prices change. The dealer desperation, it changes. I'm not letting tariffs push me into doing something and making a bad deal. I'm not doing it. I'm not worried about tariffs coming, because there's going to be deals no matter what. If the prices of the new cars go up, what happens to the prices of our used cars that we're going to be selling? See, that's how we really won during COVID. Some people who've been with me since 2021, that's how we were winning. My man John Shaw, he was one of the first people. David Isaacs came in, got his BMW. Yes, the lease prices were slightly higher back then. We were still getting under 1.5. We were still getting 1.4. John got a 1.2 on a Jeep Wrangler, but we were selling our old cars for 8, 10, 12 grand more than they would be worth today. So even if the new car market goes up, we know how to maximize the prices of the cars we're getting rid of, and we're going to offset it. So we want to position ourselves to be able to say no. That is the strength. That's the leverage where we can say, you know what? All right, I'm going to follow up next month. Now we're telling the dealers right up front, hey, call me. I'm good between now and June 18th. I'm good between now and July 20th. So now what those dealers say is, okay, this is a serious customer. By the way, we have all this in templates in my book. You fill out the template, you fill in, here's the day you can buy a car. This is your deadline. When we blast it out, these are things you can call dealers and you can tell them, hey, I'm good between now and anytime before the summer. Call me if you get a black one with the red seats and this package in it. If you want to call around, you want to do it that way, you could do that. But what you're letting them know is, call me when you want to make a deal. I can make a deal today. Let me see the numbers today. Great. All right. If sometimes you'll see that a car is a little bit out of the range we want it to be in, you might say, man, I'm looking for it to be around, 505. This thing's coming in about 550. Okay, maybe I'll check next month, see if the program gets better. You might say, all right, dealers are saying to some of you shopping for cars that maybe every dealer is not going to have it. When you reach out to the dealers, only 5, 6 dealers have it. But they say, hey, I got something coming in May. I got something coming end of May, June. Is that good for you? See, they're desperate customers. They can't say yes to that because they back themselves into a corner. But you guys now operating with a 90-day shopping cycle. If a deal comes today, I'm jumping on it. But if you got something coming next month, I'm jumping on that. Call me when you're desperate. Call me when y'all have that meeting. Hey guys, we're way behind. Listen, we need a deal. I'll take any deal right now. Hey, is that person that Sheila McCauley, you know, that last month, her number, we couldn't make that deal last month. Did she get a call yet? Hey Sheila, did you get a call yet? No, I'm still waiting. Okay, great. We can get to your number now. Perfect. Thank you. Positioned. So we want you to be positioned when you use what we teach, whether it's the Cars from Home digital book, whether it's the Shop with Deshone. For those of you who are like Deshone, let's do this together. I want the checklist videos. I want coaching. I want to be able to pop into the Facebook group, ask around. We can't give you that for $24. No author can give you the support. I got tons of books. There to Be a Man, In His Steps, Tony Robbins' book. None of these authors can give me support for the price I paid for their book. That just can't happen. But some of you are like, you know what? This is a big investment. I want to make sure I have a access to, you know, systems for life. That's the Shop with Deshone done for you video checklist. And then you got coaching direct with me in our Zoom calls every first and third Wednesday. Twice a month we do. And then we got our private Facebook group with 1,600 people. And then some of them are sharp as me. I'm telling you, let's look at, you know, y'all know I brag about Rosalie. If you like Rosalie, if girl got 4 cars in within a year, you know. Her first car was the Infinity. She got her Infinity truck. And I was sharing her a lot last year when she got her Infinity QX60, but she recently shared that she got 3 vehicles. And hold on, where is she at? I just had her up. So this is the people that's in the group. Like, look, 3 vehicles. Big shout out to Deshone the Auto Advisor for making these incredible deals happen. 3 new leases for my sons with only first month's payment down. She got a Nissan Rogue, almost $37,000 vehicle, $399 a month, no money down. Mazda CX-30 Sport, $28,000 vehicle, $28,300, $339 a month. That's a 1.2% lease. And she got a Mazda CX-50 Premium Plus, $40,400 vehicle, $420 a month. 2 1% leases and a 1.2% lease. And the cherry on top, she says, I sold 2 leases. Some of you don't even know you could sell a lease. She said, I sold 2 leases. She had equity. Now, not every lease has equity. But if 8 out of 10 leases don't have equity, then 2 out of 10 do. So if you've just been dropping your leases off at the dealership, hey, here's my old lease. Let me get the new one. Hey, here's my old lease. And you have not assessed the equity. Could there be equity in it? Imagine how much money you've left on the table. Imagine how much, wow, I didn't even know you could sell leases. She sold 2 leases, 2 2021 Elantras, walked away with $6,737 in equity. Deshone, I could not have done this without you. Your program is a game changer. So this is what we want. We want empowered car shoppers. We want people who are not intimidated. I don't care what this market does, whether I need a new car, used car, whether I got bad credit, whether I'm a high mileage driver, it does not matter. We have strategies to make sure you are going to win in this market or any market. Does not matter. Okay? So, for those of you who don't know, the whole show was sponsored by my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's 5-star rated. Thank you to everyone who's rated it, reviewed it. It has everything we teach in a step-by-step format. It's normally $97, but as part of our welcome offer, you can get yours for $24 in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio. Click that website. It's the carsfromhometoolkit.com. Or we have a link for you guys in the YouTube comments, in the Facebook comments, and you just click the $24 welcome offer, good for 30 minutes. And for those of you who have different learning styles, or if you just want some free advice, we have some links in there for you as well. Whether you are a do-it-yourself type, whether you are do-it-with-me type Deshone, or whether Deshone, I think I qualify for that done-for-you shopping, where I can relax at home and you guys go do that work. Or like I said, you want the free advice, just start with our cheat sheets and you can go from there. Whatever is right for you, you get it done. We just want to move you from anxiety, from, oh, I don't know what to say, from watching people online who call dealers and negotiate. Hey, take off $5,000 so I can have a viral video. And now you're talking to an 80% dealer. So the 80% dealer has the $5,000 to take off. So you look like, hey, yeah, see, I just got them to take off $5,000. We don't negotiate with dealers with fake fees. Like there's a saying, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Cars from home, we don't negotiate with dealers with fake fees. None of that stuff matters. Because what you want us to think is, look, see, I took off all of this money. Don't you want to buy the car now? But you took off the fake money. Had we been talking to a 20% dealer, what money are they taking off? The real money. The real money. So if we have two dealers, well, let's say 8, because y'all know I use the 80%. So the 80% are over here. The 20% are this small group over here that we got to find. Now, the 80% are starting so high that when they take off all the money, it's fake money. We marked up our cars. We got platinum kits on them. We got the Hertz service plans on them, and the Simonized kit and the low, all of that stuff. Okay, so yeah, we done took off 5,000 for you, but 4,000 of it was fake. Meanwhile, this 20%, they don't have the fake. So when they take off 4,000, it's real 4,000. And we over here talking to these people. Hey, take off all that fake money. See, guys, you can do this too. So listen, we bidding is the way to go. You cannot negotiate your way to a below market deal, but you can get bids and it will make your life easier. You'll start to enjoy your car shopping. You'll start to feel like you're empowered. You're the prize. Someone won your business. They won your loan. They won the opportunity to buy your car. You are the prize. So that's what it's about. So we are here Monday through Thursday, 12 noon. Make sure you meet us live or tell your friends and family who are shopping, hey, hop on this show. We're live on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. But we will broadcast the show for the rest of the day. So those who want to catch up on some things that you may have missed, or if you just jumped on and you're like, whoa, man, I missed a lot. We'll rebroadcast this show for the rest of the day. But tomorrow we'll be back, which will be Tuesday, May 6th, 12 noon. Meet us here live. Thank you so much. Welcome to the new followers. Thank you to everyone who gave me gifts. Thank you to everyone who bought a book. Thank you for those of you who are in Shop with Deshone. I look forward to your success stories. Always a pleasure. And welcome to our Tuesday, May 6th live. We do these live streams at 12 noon, Monday through Thursday. I am your host, Deshone the Auto Advisor. And for those of you who've never met me, I have devoted the last 4 years to teaching people how to get the best deals on cars and to learn all the mistakes that the industry, the car industry, would love for you to continue making, because they make a lot of money when you make mistakes. And so what we do here is we really just do questions and answers. I will teach on various topics that I feel are widely misunderstood, like the subject of leasing. And some of you who are new here, if you've never been here before, could you type a 1 in the chat if this is your first time on a stream? We do these streams about 60 to 90 minutes. And if you're going to get the most out of them, we just ask that you lock in, that you focus, because we will be talking about $1,000 mistakes. Nothing here that we'll be talking about over the next 60 to 90 minutes is hundreds of dollars. You know, I'm not looking to, have you spend some time with me on a Tuesday to talk about how to save hundreds of dollars. No offense, I'm sure that's important to some people, but we are here to talk about things that are affecting your bank account by the thousands every year. And so if you got some time, I would love for you to hit the like button, like wherever you are, and let's just tap in. You can start to type your questions. This whole stream is sponsored by my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's a digital book. It's 5-star rated. Thank you to everyone who's rated the book and reviewed it. And it's normally $97, but for the next 30 minutes while you're watching, you can grab your copy for 75% off. That's our welcome offer. We always like to reward people for taking action. So you can get your copy for $24 instead of $97. And you can just head to my TikTok bio. You won't leave the show, my Instagram bio, the Facebook comments, or the YouTube comments, and use that link to get your welcome offer, and you'll have everything we teach. So as we go through this for the next 60 to 90 minutes, if you're like, whoa, Deshone, this is a lot. Wow, this is a lot. You can grab the book and make sure you have everything that I teach and everything in a step-by-step format. Okay, so I have my man Dolan moderating. Good afternoon. Thank you, Johnny Miller. Good to see you, Lil G. Again, guys, we are live. This is our Tuesday, May 6th live. We're live every Monday through Thursday at 12 noon. But we do rebroadcast these throughout the day. For those who cannot make them, you can watch the rebroadcast, or if you got to go back to work, we'll be rebroadcasting it for the rest of the day until our show tomorrow. All right, so let's start with the questions. You can feel free to get into it. Okay, do you have to get the extended warranty? This is a great question. This is car specific. A Honda, Acura, Toyota, in most cases, have always had low cost of maintenance and their parts are inexpensive. When you're buying an extended warranty or you're considering it, it is a risk product. It's an insurance plan. So that means you can pay for something and not use it, just like car insurance. You don't necessarily use your insurance until you have an accident. Same thing with an extended warranty. It's an insurance policy. So what you're trying to do with any insurance is see what is the likelihood that what I'm paying for this is going to exceed the price if I did need to use it. So in the case of a vehicle, when you're trying to determine what should I get an extended warranty, there's 2 things that are important. Does this vehicle that I'm purchasing have a high likelihood of things going wrong? We know, and some of you have had cars with histories, and we know there are certain cars, they tend to have things go wrong more than others. And what I like to do is go right to Google and type in repair cost, because this is the second item that we are looking at. We're looking at average repair cost. So if you're buying a 2010, a 2015 Nissan Altima, 2018, Hyundai Sonata, you go right to Google, you type in 2018 Hyundai Sonata average repair cost. Now, if you see that those typically go on the lower side, then that can take a lower set of risk where you might say, all right, likelihood of these things going wrong on this car is slim. But if you see that the repair cost is on the mid to higher side, that's shifting more risk to if something goes wrong, the cost for you to pay for it out of pocket will probably exceed the warranty. So when I work for Mercedes-Benz, who's new here? Type a 1 in the chat if this is your first time on a stream with us. First time you've ever been here, type a 1 in the chat. First time. What's up, William? What's up, DJ Ant Nice? Good to see you. Maggie, good to see you. Enrique, good to see you. Miko, good to see you. Tetra Washington, good to see you. Jan, good to see you. Claire, Clairvoyant, good name. First time, if this is your first time, just type ones in the chat so I know. I don't want to assume anyone knows who the heck I am and what my experience is. Daniel Thompson on Facebook, great to see you. So I worked for Mercedes-Benz for 5 years, General Motors for 5 years, and I ran my own brokerage, my new car brokerage, Call Cars from Home. I started it in 2016. Now, when I worked for Mercedes, when people were purchasing a Mercedes, what I would tell them is buy as much warranty as you can afford. Buy as much warranty as you can afford, because I knew that when something breaks on a Mercedes, nothing's under $1,000, and typically it's $2,000-$3,000. So a $4,000 warranty on a Mercedes Benz is usually worth every dime. But at the same time, we have cars that, again, less likely for things to go wrong. And then when things go wrong, if they go wrong, they can typically be repaired inexpensively. Good to see you, Arms Reach. Welcome on Instagram. Shout out to the people checking in live. Great to see you all. So that's how you're measuring extended warranties. You don't want to get an extended warranty on a vehicle that has a low cost of repair and a low likelihood of things going wrong. You can then take your money, put a little bit to the side, have a little emergency fund, that same $35 that you would have put into the warranty, or $2,500, you put that to the side over the course of a year, 2 years, put $100 a month to the side, and then have that be your cushion just in case things go wrong. It's better for you to have that money in your bank account, and if things go wrong, you take it to your mechanic. You must have a local mechanic. You guys know I swear by local mechanics on cars that don't have warranties. Even if you have a Mercedes-Benz, a BMW, an Audi, something that is typically harder to work on and takes more of a specialized engineer, there are still plenty of places that have those. I mean, there's shops where they used to be Mercedes-Benz techs. Now they have their own shops. This is who you want, because their cost, their labor is going to be probably 1/3 of what a dealership is going to be. So these are the resources that, again, keep more money in our pocket while getting us the same level of service and experience. Okay, great question. Welcome, Uncle Nene. Good to see you. Uncle Nene. All right, listen. Nicole, good to see you. All right, Dolan, you can pull up the next question. Feel free to start typing your questions. And as we get more questions in, we'll try to get to all of them. You guys know we're not always able to, but we do try to get to all of them. How do I shop around for the best lease deal without affecting my credit? Well, first of all, you're talking to someone who's, just so you know, I've taught thousands of people to lease. I've gotten 7 leases. Now, when we look at what we are doing with a lease, first, we have to consider how we want the information presented to us. We are not letting dealers tell us how they're going to quote us. We are telling the dealers how to quote us. So we are going to have all our quotes. Thank you to everybody hitting the like button. I see you. I appreciate you. And shout out to the sharers. As I see people who share, I always like to give the shout outs to the people who share this broadcast with their friends and their family. And thank you to everyone who's giving gifts on TikTok and Instagram. Appreciate you all. So what we are doing when we're telling a dealership, you give us a quote with first month's payment only out of pocket, 12,000 miles per year, and put all the taxes and fees into the payment, assume tier 1. So we are presenting it now in my book and in my Shop with Deshone programs, my video checklist. I have all the templates. If you're going to do this yourself, you just need to remember how you're presenting this. You can call around to dealerships, because there's 2 ways to do this. Shopping from home. Cars from Home is about showing you guys, and I'm going to be showing you guys a ton of payments. And listen, I don't want you to feel bad, because some of you are going to see that you've left a lot of money on the table. Part of what I have to do here, and I've been doing it for 3-4 years now, is I have to tell you the bad news. For 3 years, I did a masterclass called Everything You're Doing Wrong Buying, Selling, and Leasing Cars. We put probably over 15,000 people through that masterclass. But those were people who were willing to hear the bad news They knew, Deshone, I got to hear the bad news to get to the good news. So as I show the difference in the prices that we get and the people who listen to me get, more than, forget about me, the people who are like you, the people who are on a live, saw a video, and then took action and learned what we, and use our processes, the results they get compared to what you're getting. You're going to see, wow, they're saving $3, $5, $7, $10,000 more than me every single car. And so the Cars from Home system is about bidding. It's about turning your car purchase into a bid. You're no longer begging. You're no longer going into a dealership and begging one dealer to sell you a car, and then you go to another dealer and beg them, sell me this car, please take my money, please take my money. Meanwhile, you're not seeing the entire market and the people who would compete to get your business and gladly give you the service that you deserve by giving them a $30 to $50 to $100,000 transaction, which is what your car purchase is. So now so the big thing to understand right off the top is, now I need to learn this bidding. I need to learn to get multiple offers. So you can do this by phone. You want to do this by phone, you can call around, but you must give them that information in order for you to compare the deals the right way. Lynette, good to see you. Christina, good to see you. Melvin, good to see you checking in. Rudolph, I see you. Once you actually give them that information, 12,000 miles per year, first month's payment only, due at signing, taxes and fees in the payment, assume tier one. I want the tier one offer. Even if you think not qualify. Now, if you got a credit score above 670, all your FICO scores, most of you will qualify for most tier one leases. So you want to see, what does this look like as I get my offers? Once you get your offers in this format, you can use the 1% rule as the gauge. The 1% rule is been around for more than 20 years. Everyone who leases and who's savvy, we understood if your lease payment is 1% of the MSRP or less, you stole the car. That includes taxes, that includes fees. You're still in the car. So example, we're looking at a $30,000 car, Hyundai Sonata or a Hyundai Elantra, $30,000 car. When we shop all our offers, if that lease payment is $300 per month, with only $300 due at signing. In other words, I show up, here's $300. Good to see you, GDTV. Thank you for checking in on YouTube. Once I give you that $300, that's my payment for the next 35 months. So that's a very, very low percentage of the car you're paying. It's a 1% rule. Now, in order to get a 1% lease, you need a great lease program, which means the bank has to be supporting the car, rebates, incentives, and then you need the biggest discount, the dealer who's going to give you the biggest discount. Now, one of those we can control. One of them we can't. Which one can't we control? And for those of you who are new here, we don't play around here. But my people who are moving, and again, I'll show you, like a lot of people, we got a lot of people who've been following us, using our processes. They're locked in. They're not casually on a live here. We're not casually here talking. They are locked in. Like, boom, okay, I hear you. They're answering, they're typing, they're not, vacuuming in the kitchen and trying to hear. You can't do. We're talking about your second most expensive purchase of your life. It's going to be, you got to lock in. You got to challenge yourself to block out the distractions while we're on this stream, because this is your money. And if you don't take your money seriously, the car salesman will take your money seriously. Oh, I like that. Praise the Lord. God is good. You don't take your money seriously, the car salesman will take your money seriously. Man. So, all right, now somebody remind me the question I asked. I got so happy about that little catchphrase that I forgot who we were. So I know we were discussing, okay, we're talking about the 1% rule. So now, one of the things we can't control is the bank. We don't know what the lease payment, what the lease program is on a car. So when we shop cars, We are going to now look at multiple offers, and here's what you're going to see. Now I'm going to show you an example of how we know or how we expose where the dealers are concerning pricing. Now, you can't see this on TikTok, but on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you guys can see this. I'm going to tell you guys about it. YouTube just doesn't let us do the same type of stream. But this is a particular Infiniti that we shop for. We have offers ranging, this is a $61,000 vehicle. We have offers ranging from $680 per month, which is a 1.1% lease. So a $61,000 car, $680 per month, that's 1.1%. We divide the monthly payment into the MSRP. Now, we can see here that there are some offers already from dealers that are almost $900, $889 per month. $889 per month, $873 per month. So now when we look and we say, whoa, how can we have two, like we have all these dealers have the exact same car, yet one of them is $200 per month higher than another dealer. Exactly. We call them the 80%. The 80%, even after back and forth, even after, hey, we'll take off some money. All right, we'll drop the payment $50 a month. Their offer is still so high. It's a horrible deal. Now, why would they offer this? And this is consistent. So I don't want y'all thinking, well, the dealers that I walk into, they're different, Deshone. They take off more money. It does not matter what you think. If you don't have the market reports, if you don't know how to get multiple offers so that you can see, we do this all around the country. We have students all around the country in Cars from Home. We have people we shop for. We have over 13,000 books sold now. Like, we have lots of data to prove this. 80% of dealers are going to be overpriced. This is another particular deal on a Toyota, a market report. And you guys can see that the out-the-door prices here, list price, $32,000. Out-the-door price with taxes and fees, $38,000. That means that dealer is charging all types of fees on top of their price. The $39,000 MSRP. Look at line number 3. $39,000. Out-the-door price is $41,000. We can see $39,000 out-the-door includes taxes, includes all the fees. So we can see that these out-the-door prices in the left, in the right column, are way higher than the MSRP, $35,798. Out the door price is $39,700. But look at the green. Look at the green. This is what we call, we found the dealer at this time who wanted to win the bid. They wanted to win the bid. They needed the car sold. This is a rotation. We don't say to them, wow, they won the bid one time, so they must win the bid all the time. No dealer can win the bid all the time, or they'll be out of business. But in this particular case, at this particular time, for this particular client, this dealer said, we're going to sell this car for that's $35,500, and out the door with taxes and all the fees, $34,994. That is a over $4,000 discount off this vehicle. When all the other dealers are, not only are they not giving you a discount, they're charging over list. And they might come and say, all right, we'll take off $500. We'll take off $1,000. We'll take off $1,500. They might start so high with you guys that you think, wow, they started up here and I talked them down. They took off $3,000 from me, but they already were $3,000 in fake fees, protection plans, and all of this padding, dealer adjustments, which is fake fees. So whenever they say, because the dealer gets a minimum of a 6% profit margin, from list to invoice, we have profit. From invoice to holdback to triple net, we have money. That's all the profit margin. On top of that, when we add a dealer adjustment, what we're saying is we're going to sell this car to someone who does not have the skills to find our competition. And they're going to come in, and if we got to take off $2,000 to make them think they won, this is what we're going to do. But what we do here, what people like Brian is going to do, look, just finalize my first ever lease using your system, 2025 Honda HRV, $30,000 vehicle, $395 a month payment. no money down. His initial quote was $434. He ended up using our calculator, which we have in our book and in our program. If we put all our offers into that calculator, it tells us what to counter. He gets that offer for $395. That's his deal. We look at somebody like Wendell. Look, thank you. It's the least I can say for your book, Cars from Home. We're still in the middle of the process. Just sold our car today, like 10 minutes ago, for 30% above value. Why? Because he got bids. Look, using the insights from your book. I've read the book multiple times and told many people about it because it's that good. It's so intuitive and insightful. We'll be moving to the next step soon, and I'll write again. So now you heard him say we're moving to the next step soon. Step 2 in my book is the equity assessment. That's when we get bids for the car we have. We get bids. You're going to go to, listen, you should never be trading your cars in. Let me ask you all a question. Do we get the most money for an, you name me one thing that we get the most money for that thing trading it. Name me one thing. If I had this iPhone, do I get more money trading that iPhone in for another phone, or do I get more money listing it online and selling it to whoever will pay the most? Trading or selling? Let's go. Who's locked in? Tax advantages are very small. I understand you, Ronald, but the tax advantages, we have people that are selling their cars to cash buyers for $3 to $5 grand more than what they can get on trade. A tax value, a tax advantage for the difference is not, it's minimal. Exactly. Thank you, King Carter. You listed. So the money is in the bids and the competition. So going back to this person who asked the question, how do I get the best deal on a lease? It's going to be through multiple offers. That's my 2 favorite words. I would wear them on a shirt if I didn't wear unlearn, relearn. Because more than multiple offers, I need you to unlearn. Because the people who come with bad information from years, Deshone, this is not how my uncle taught me to buy cars. Deshone, this is not how I ever heard about getting cars. I was always taught just go in and just don't tell them about your trade and then ask to see the invoice and all of this stuff. That's what I was taught. Yeah, but you're not going to get the prices we're getting until you unlearn all of that bad information. Bidding is how we buy everything. When we go into the supermarket to get spaghetti sauce, all of those companies are bidding. They're bidding. Hey, listen, we'll sell you this for $3.99. Hey, we'll sell you this for $5.29. But we got a better product. We got quality. Look at us. Look, it's all bids. Everyone who wants to sell us something is competing, except car dealers. Y'all notice that? So the mindset that y'all got to have if y'all want to really win and save all of this money and get these huge discounts is I'm going to start purchasing and leasing cars like I buy other things. It's going to be a competition. And I promise you, your whole life is going to change. Your entire car buying experience will change forever. You will be sitting here just like my man Ken, graduated, $585 a month payment, no money down on his Nissan Murano Platinum, $50,000 vehicle. He's paying $585, no money down. $50,000 vehicle. How much would a $50,000 vehicle cost us on a loan if he purchased it? How much would a $50,000? Some of you know every $5,000 is how much per month. Let me see who's locked in. Who's locked in? Every $5,000 is how much per month on a loan. I see you, Daniel Thompson. Check in. Good to see you, Dang. Thank you for breaking it down with complete truth. Keeping eyes wide open to know what to exactly expect. There you go, Dang. Welcome. Glad to have you here. We do not play around when it comes to this. All I want you doing is winning with cars, in love with your deals every time you get a car. All right, nobody knows the $5,000. How much is every $5,000 on a car payment? Come on, y'all. These are principles we've been teaching. Thank you, Daniel. $100. Thank you. $100. So we always want to default to a 5-year loan. I'm going to tell you why. when you default to a 5-year loan, you're in a safe position. Now, defaulting to a 5-year loan means when I look at a $20,000 car, I'm thinking $400 per month. 5-year loan, every $5,000 is $100 per month. If worst case scenario, I'm trying to get a little bit more car, then I'll go to a 6-year loan, but that's the max. I'm not going past a 6-year loan on a car. That's like going to a 40-year mortgage on a house. They're available. It's not a good idea. So when we look at these, you say to yourself, wow, a $50,000 car, that should cost him, if he did no, remember, this is a no money down deal. We're just looking at how much money we're putting in these cars. That car would cost him about $1,000 a month if he purchased it, 5-year loan, no money down. Which is why when people purchase their cars, what do they typically do? Come up with a ton of money, 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand, because they're going to pay into that car to try to lower that payment, because that payment. But some of us who don't have the down payment, we're financing most or all of the car. But here's the thing. I don't want you to feel bad if you're one of those people who's like, Deshone, I really don't be having those down payments of 10 grand, 15 grand, but I want to drive something quality. Exactly, I hear you. Here's the bad part about the people who are putting 15 grand down on their cars, but they're breaking the 8-year rule. This is what we call in Cars from Home and everything I teach, the most important question is how many years are you going to keep this next car? If it's not 8, then we don't purchase those cars, because here's what happens with people who go into their bank account, slap $15,000 down in a car, and don't keep the cars 8 years. And if anybody's willing to be honest, they will confirm this right here on the stream. When they go to replace that car in 3 years or 4 years, they literally have a little bit of equity. Maybe they're just breaking even. They're not getting that 15 grand back. It's gone. It's gone. Anyone who puts 10 grand down on a car and then comes back in 3 years, 4 years, all right, I had the car 4 years, 5, listen, I'm going to switch this thing up. They still have a payment. They are barely breaking even. Meanwhile, their payment was $400 or $500, almost double what it would have been if they leased a car, got a below market lease, and they drove a car, no warranty after 3 years. They're driving an inferior product. So if it sounds like I'm here to destroy people from purchasing who are not keeping their cars long term, that is the goal. Because as long as you are buying cars that you're not keeping 8 years and you buy them, you turn around and you replace them, you are going to continue to spend way more money than people getting below market leases like Ken and like a lot of other people I'm going to show you on the stream. Lots of other people. Look, dealer American Senior Benefits Plan. He's enrolled with us under his company name. Dealer MSRP on this car was $36,300. 2025 Kia Sport X line. MSR boom boom 561. Monthly payment is $400. Use the system back and forth. Got $400 a month on a 2025 $36,000 car. Once we put our taxes and fees in that would be a $700+ payment. $700 payment. He's paying $400. And y'all wonder why people are losing cars. $300 more per month to drive the same car? It's ridiculous. Imagine somebody like you, when you learn, now you're pulling up. I'm going to tell y'all one more story, and then we'll go into some more questions, because you might not remember what I'm saying. So those of you who have the book, you got this for the rest of your life. But you will remember, hopefully, a story. I'll tell you about my neighbor. So my neighbor finds out that I'm into this car business and that I educate. And he said, hey, Deshone, I was watching some of your videos and I come across this 8-year rule that you teach. And his wife had actually had a Kia Telluride. Popular vehicles, probably been one of the most popular SUVs, that the Palisade, since 2007, 2019. Super popular vehicles. People were charging $5,000 over sticker for them during the pandemic. People were paying it. We were getting them at discounts. Now, his wife totals the truck. She has an accident, totals the truck. She's fine. Truck is totaled. He was financing it. He said, Deshone, I see this 8-year rule thing, man, and I don't keep my cars 8 years. I said, okay. He said, so I'm thinking I should, like, you're saying I should be shopping for a lease on my next one. I said, exactly. I said, make sure you get multiple offers, because if you just walk in and say, hey, work me up a lease, they'll give you the same payment you had on the purchase. And then they'll tell you something ridiculous that they want you to believe, like, hey, the lease is the same price as the purchase, so you might as well just purchase it. And people believe this stuff. Now, I said, you get multiple offers, stay at home. He calls me, he says, Deshone, I got the new version of the Telluride, new. I'm paying $479 a month. He's $497, and then he said, I think he put down like $1,000, bring it down to $479. $497. He was just paying $800. Do you think anyone can tell him anything about leasing? He's pulling up in the same exact truck. In fact, the newer version. He knows he wasn't going to keep the car long term anyway. He's not going to pay it off and then keep the car and have a paid off Kia Telluride for 10 years. That's not what he does. He keeps them 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, and then he replaces them. So why is he paying $800 a month for years, no warranty, when he could be driving brand new ones for $497 a month, problem free? But as I said, some people are determined to pay more. But the people who, once you get this leasing thing, if you're not keeping your cars, it will change your life. Now, again, I got a car I'm purchasing, we're keeping it. Anything you are buying, keeping 8 years, forget about leasing. It shouldn't be a thing. Who keeps their cars more than 8 years? Let us know. You're an 8+ year person, let us know. In fact, I don't even want to ask you, who has a car right now that they've had more than 8 years? And then we'll answer. I want to get Kathy's question too. And then let's get some purchase questions. Let's get some used car questions. Let's get some bank financing questions. We do it all here. But one of the most misunderstood subjects is this leasing thing, and it is costing you guys thousands of dollars every year. And you're driving old cars with no warranties, paying high payments on them because somebody told you you should be purchasing cars. I'm here to tell you they owe you money. They owe you money. All right? So who has a car right now that they've had more than 8 years? Let us know. How many years have you had it? And by the way, for those of you who just joined, this is our Tuesday, May 6th live. We are live every Monday through Thursday at 12 noon Eastern time. So for those of you who are here catching us live, that's when we're live. We will rebroadcast this and replay this show throughout the rest of the day for those who could not catch it, or if you had to jump off, go back to work. You're like, oh, I got to go back to work. You can catch it on the replay throughout the day. But we are live Monday through Thursday at 12 noon. So welcome to the people who are here. EJ, driving a lot of miles does not matter. Let me break this down for you. So right now, let's go to somebody who else has a lease. Let's look at, because who's heard with leasing you can't drive too many miles? Who's heard that, right? Type me if you've heard that. Let's go. Type me if you heard that. Come on, where's the locked in people at? I see Kathy, I see EJ, I see DJ Ant Nice, I see XP. All right, I see Mr. Slim. Welcome to the community. I see Rhonda. All right, where are the locked in people? Instagram, where we at? Locked in. All right, dang, I see you. Jamel. All right, perfect. So, Sherry, I see you. Sherry Baker on TikTok. So you've heard, oh, you can't drive a lot of miles with a lease. Let's be clear here. You choose the mileage on your lease. It's not selected for you. In fact, the only time it is selected for you is if you don't realize you choose it. That's the only time they're going to choose your mileage for you. If you go in and you do something like, hey, work me up a lease deal, they're probably going to work you up a 10,000 mile a year lease deal. And they're probably going to say, hey, you need $3,000 down, and this is going to be your payment. And next thing you know, it's a high lease, and it's just terrible. Happens all the time. We tell people how to quote us. First payment due at signing, taxes and fees in the payment. So now let's look at a lease and let me show you what it would look like. So this is Val Boss Lady. She's in our Shop with Deshone program. Everything that you guys know that we're talking about here, if you're like, hey, I really, really want to go deeper, I want the step-by-step, the blueprint, that's my digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Normally $97. You get a welcome offer. It's 30 minutes because I want to see you win, and you get 75% off for 30 minutes. If you go to my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, YouTube comments, Facebook comments, click those links, and then click that one that says $24 welcome offer. 30 minutes only, reward for taking action. You have everything we teach, the low market leases, the low market purchases, used cars, bank bidding war, making banks and credit unions bid, all of that, $24. You can, somebody emailed me yesterday, said, I'm $15,000 up with what I've learned from you already. And so if you can get it for $24, you can save tons of money for the rest of your life on a $24 investment. In this case, Val's in our, she's more of a wants to do it with me type. Videos, checklist, she doesn't want to read. That's our Shop with Deshone, do it with me program. I coach people. And so she gets a deal on this particular car. Same information, by the way. Not better information here than the book. It's just different learning styles. So she gets a $51,000 electric vehicle, 2025, beautiful vehicle. She's paying 1.16. So her payment on this car, on this $51,000 car, let's continue to make sure we understand the price of these cars. $51,000 car, her payment is $591. No money down. Now, some of you might say, wow, if I got $591, I probably put like $3,000 down, bring it down to $499. You could do that. That's how we can do. We can do that because she already got an incredible deal. Then we're just determining how we want to structure our payment. And thank you for everybody sending me gifts. I appreciate you. Thank you for all the badges. I don't take it for granted. And thank you for everyone who's hit the like button. Those of you who are double tapping the screen. Every time you hit something on TikTok, you like it, you double tap the screen, you keep running those likes up. We appreciate you. It does matter. It helps spread the word. So let's say Val wanted, she's a high mileage driver like EJ. Let's say, EJ, how many miles per year do you drive? 20,000, 25,000? Let us know. I'm gonna show you why. In my book, I have 2 strategies for high mileage drivers. I'll tell it to you guys right now. How many miles a year do you drive, EJ? 25,000, 20,000? Those are both high. Let us know. Or if anybody, else, because, anybody else who's a high mileage driver, let us know. How many miles? 26. All right. Thank you, EJ. So let's just round that to 25 for now. Let's just round that to 25. So let's say instead of her $591 payment for a $51,000 car, now you could shop for a $30,000 car and you can have a 1% payment. If it was, a similar deal, you'd be paying $300 a month. In her case, she has a $51,000 car. She probably wanted a nice SUV that looks beautiful, that some other people are paying $1,000 a month for. She's paying $591. But if she wanted to bump it up to 15,000 miles a year, she'd be paying another $30 more per month. She'd be paying $620. Now, if she wanted to bump it up to 20,000 miles per year, she'd be paying probably another $80, $90 per month. So she'd probably be paying $700 to drive 20,000 miles per year. Now, let me tell you guys, because some of you guys who are like, yo, man, those payments are high. We're talking about $50,000 cars here. So if you were shopping for a $30,000 car or $35,000 car, naturally, if we took the same exact numbers, let's take a $35,000 car, 1.16 lease. That's a 406 payment, probably $399. So now, in order to go, and let's say you're a high mileage driver, just like EJ, you want to add another 15,000 miles to your lease. You're probably going from 400 to 550 or 575. But you have all the mileage you need. And here's the beautiful thing about that. If I'm paying $175 more per month, but I get all the mileage I want, and when I drop this thing off, I get a new one, I don't have to worry about negative equity, and I put no money down. That is way better than what most people are doing out here, what everyone's doing. Because I'm gonna tell you what most high mileage drivers do who don't put money down. They will go in, buy a car, take a super long loan, 6 years, 7 years, just so they could afford the payment. Now, here's what happens. They drive the car, they put 25,000 miles a year on it, they come back in 3 years or 4 years, and they say, wow, I got 100,000 miles on this thing already. Let me go and swap out the car. What situation are they in at that point, guys? You put 100, you got a 6-year loan, average loan. You drove 25,000 miles per year. You put 100,000 miles on the car in 4 years. You come back, you still have 2 years of payments left. 15 grand negative equity. I used to see it all the time. Thank you, I am rich. Locked in on Instagram. I see you. Locked in. See it all the time. Every car salesman who has dealt with a normal 25,000 mile high mileage driver that does not keep their cars sees it all the time. They come in, yo, man, what you do for a living? Man, yeah, I do DoorDash, I do Uber. Oh man, I work in sales. You know, I'm on the road a lot. You know, I'm here. You know, all right, I want to replace this thing. I got like 110,000 on it. Okay, you still got a loan on it? Yeah. All right, we already know you got negative equity. Then we appraise the car. All right, the car's worth like 7,000. How much you owe? Man, you owe 19,000. All right, well, what can I do? Can you get me into something? Roll that loss all the way over. On top of that, you finance the car, so your payment is high. You finance the whole car, so you're paying a high payment compared to if you had leased, just literally shop for your leases, added your miles to the lease that you needed. You're paying $175 more per month. You got a brand new car. And I'm going to tell you, I did not make this up. I learned this from someone. A lot of what I'm teaching you, I learned from my clients when I was in the dealership. This guy, I worked at Hyundai for six weeks. Man, this dealership, the owners got indicted. I got out of there. Way before the owner got indicted. It just had straight up highway vibes, like the worst you could ever imagine. As I was in there for 6 weeks, I was a manager. I enjoyed being a manager. We did a lot of deals in my department in 6 weeks, but I said, I am out of this place anyway. But I learned something very valuable there. We had a client a customer was returning his lease on his Hyundai Sonata. Guy comes and I'm grounding the lease. I'm doing the paperwork for him. He has 72,000 miles on the car. 72,000 miles. I said, how the heck? I said, you lease this? He said, yeah, I always lease. That's all I do. He said, I used to buy my cars every single time I came. I had to put large down payments, 10 grand, and then I'm still having negative equity when I come to trade it in. I'm having high payments. It's ridiculous. I looked at his payment, and let's say the average payment for a good deal on a Sonata at that time was 300, 325, whatever it was. He was only paying like 550. He was only paying like $150, $175 more per month. He had a 25,000 mile a year lease. And that's what he did. I drive these cars. I'm on the road. Boom, boom, boom. I change my tires. I do my maintenance. 3 years. It's a fixed cost. There's no variable cost. I don't have any surprises. I'm not getting hit with a negative equity bill that I got to transfer, which means when I transfer my negative equity, I get less car on the next transaction. Because if I got to bring over 15 grand of negative equity, that's probably 300 a month that I'm paying for my old car when I get my new car. So if my new car was 400 a month, but my negative equity is another 300 a month, I'm getting less car for my money because now I got to take all those losses and bring them over to my new car. This is high mileage drivers and people who don't understand leasing. That's why you're losing so much money. And when you just flip the switch and realize Deshone is not talking to me emotionally, I am not talking to you about never do this, like these other people who say this, do this. This is how you buy a car. They never talk numbers. Y'all notice that? You notice that, right? You never hear them talk numbers. It's always never do this, always do this. This is the worst way to do this. This is the most expensive way to do this. This costs you the most money. They never talk numbers though. That's why everything I do is to show you the numbers. Thousands of transactions since 2006 in the car business, helping people the last 4 years all around the country. This is the numbers that they might not understand. So if you're not keeping your car 8 years, it does not matter if you drive 20,000 miles a year, 25,000. You should be looking at a high mileage lease. Or my second strategy for high mileage drivers is this, because some of you want a nice car. This is for my people who you're like, man, Deshone, I'm on the road. I got my car that I do my work in. I kind of, slep it around. I don't really want to lease something and then put, that wear on it. I got stuff. I'm throwing bags in the back, whatever it may be. There's a strategy we created called 2 cars, 1 payment. And what will happen is your first car will be a purchase. And if you have an existing car, you're going to keep that. So let's say you have a car now, you're driving a lot of miles, you're doing your 25,000 miles a year. You pay that car off. You keep that car, and then you go and you lease you something nice, regular mileage. So you might get a 12,000 mile a year lease, and then you drive 12,000 in your mileage car, 12,000 on your nice car. Because some people are like, I want a car that I could, when I need to go somewhere nice, this is what I want to drive. When I'm with my family, this is what I want to drive. But when I go to work 5 days a week, I'm going to drive my mileage car, 3 or 4 of those days, and then I'll take the lease maybe 1 of those days, and I'm splitting the mileage. You still have 1 payment. It's low. And then every couple years, you replace the mileage car or you replace the lease car, and depending on when the lease is up. But you want to keep that, and that mileage car should be something that will last. Ideally, something that you can get 200, 300,000 miles a year out of that car, because that's what that car is there for. Man, I'm hopping in this thing, man. Oh, transmission went out at 170,000 miles. Go get you a rebuilt transmission, boom, boom, drop it in there for $2 grand, get another 80,000 miles out of that car, but you still got your lease car and you're just splitting the mileage. Both of those are short-term strategies for high mileage drivers. That is not for long-term people. If you're a long-term person, I keep my cars 8+ years, forget about leasing. You should just be finding the best deal, below market purchase, keep the car, something you can keep for 8+ years. You can put 30,000 miles a year on a car 8 years in a row. If you get the right car, and in 8 years, you got 240,000 miles, and then you replace it. Forget about leasing. This is only for you guys not keeping your cars 8 years. You're getting killed on depreciation. You're paying tons of money. This is you. You are the people who should be leasing. Okay? So everything we're talking about this is the Cars from Home system. We teach this. This is not, I'm not freestyling this. This is in my book, digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. We have two strategies for high mileage short-term drivers, 1 strategy for high mileage long-term drivers. And so if you want your copy, you can get it for 75% off. That's our welcome offer to you as a 30 minutes. Welcome. Thanks for being here. I want to reward you. If you want everything we teach in a step-by-step way, go grab your digital copy. It's in my TikTok bio. It's in my Instagram bio. Click those links. We also got a link in the YouTube comments and the Facebook comments. Grab your copy. And make sure as soon as you purchase, screenshot the thank you page. You're going to see thank you for your purchase. screenshot this page because it has my support team's email on there. And then there's a link for you to open the book right there. You can save it right to your computer or right to your phone. Okay, but and we also have a special for those of you who are like Deshone. What about that, video checklist and coaching program? That's lifetime access to my video checklist. You're like, maybe Deshone, I don't really read. I like step-by-step videos. And also, I want to be in your Facebook group. We have 1,600 people before you that are in that group. 2,300 people that are shopping with us that have a lifetime access to our video checklist. We have a $200 special for that welcome offer. And so I'm always about rewarding people for taking action with a special offer. It's limited time though. And so get in where you fit in. All right, let's keep it going. Thank you, Corey. Said amazing knowledge. Thank you. And I'm glad I saw somebody said that's a great idea with the 2 cars. Thank you. It's a great idea. All right. You've convinced me to lease my next vehicle. Awesome. Awesome. Does your service shop for lease terms on the car? Absolutely. If you qualify for done for you, that means you just want to relax. That means we only shop for new cars and leases for people, new purchases and leases. And you have to have a FICO score over 670. But yes, here is a market report that we prepared for a client. Let me put on Do Not Disturb. Here's a market report we prepared for a client. Okay, so I showed you that that's an Infinity. We didn't even finish that. We had just started for this client. But this is, do I have one here? No. Do I have a lease market report here? Yeah, right here. So that's an example of what a Kia, this is a particular Kia lease where their best offer was a 1.27 offer. Now, here's how you know you found the bottom of the market. And again, whether you're using the book or whether you're calling around, again, you can call around to do this. The key is not going into dealerships. You cannot do this going in. Once you get your offers, you know you found the bottom when your best offer is between $150 to $200 less per month than your worst offer. And if you're purchasing, you should see a spread of between $3,000 and $5,000 minimum between your best offer and your worst offer. That's when you know you've shopped correctly. Because until you find the 80% dealers, you have not shopped correctly. If you're like Deshone, these prices still seem close. You have not found, you're talking to the 80%. You haven't found the 20% yet. Because the 20% is going to be that $3,000 to $5,000 less than the 80%. That is just the numbers. That's the way it works. So yes, so when some cars you're going to see that the lease program won't allow for a 1.1% lease. The best offer, like, we've shopped Hyundai Palisades for years. And I got my dad one back in November. And his best offer is like around 1.3, 1.28. That's the best I've ever seen on a Palisade. I've never seen a 1.1 on a Palisade. I've had people in our Charles. Some of you know I posted pictures of him when he got his Palisade last year. We clear out the old pictures because we got a bunch of new people with 2025. So we're not going to sit here and talk about 2024s anymore. We got Ken, we got Melissa, we got Sheree, we got a bunch of new people, just Ralph. We're not going to, but I do remember posting Charles who got his Palisade and he's like, he shopped, used the system, got his multiple offers. Best deal was 1.3. So that's where it comes in at because of the lease program. That dealer is already taken off to win the bid, probably taking off $5-6 grand. But if they don't have more rebates and more incentives and a better, then it's not going to lead to a 1% lease. So the 1% leases come from major incentives. Maybe sometimes they have too many of the vehicles. They want to move them. Lots of bank support. But what I tell you is you should be looking for between 1.25 and 1.5. That's how you should budget for a lease, between 1.25 and 1.5. That's a great deal. And if it has a really aggressive lease program, once you get your bids, you're going to see it fall under the 1.25. You see it fall into 1.1, 1.2. but we don't know what the lease program will be until after we shop for that vehicle. Okay? So yes, absolutely. It's an empowering way to shop. It's also fun because you can see, man, I'm not begging anymore. Like these people are like, please do business with me. Please do business with me. You know, and then you start to feel bad for everybody who's still in those dealerships doing it the old way because you know they're talking to the 80%. There's no way they can win. They don't even know there is an 80% to realize that's who they're talking to. So when the dealer says, all right, I'll take off $4,000, they're like, ow, I won. Man, the dealer took off $4,000. But if they saw the whole market, they would understand that that dealer actually is overpriced by $7,000, $10,000. So taking off the $4,000 means nothing. It's just sad. It's a sad thing. And that's why I spend my time trying to convert you guys from negotiating one-to-one to getting multiple offers so that you can see for yourself. All right. Thank you, Julie, name Richardson. Thank you for sharing. XP got the number 2 gifted badge. Forgive me because I don't really know what that means, but I just know that's what it's saying. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Corey22. Sherry Baker, thank you so much. Number 1 gifted badge. All right, let's go to some more questions. We got some more questions. Dolan, I'm sure you got a lot of them. And what I'm going to do for the rest of the broadcast is just try to do rapid fire questions and answers. Okay. And if you guys want me to go deeper on any particular subject, then just feel free to say, hey, could you go deeper on that? How do you get a car loan with bad credit? Well, we have a resource. It's not our company. We have nothing to do with them. But we always try to stay up to speed on who's financing people with bad credit, because the goal is you don't want a dealer controlling your financing. Somebody just came up to me. He's a neighbor. He's like, aren't you in the car business? I said, well, yes and no. He's like, well, listen, I got a connected Acura. Anybody you send me, they get anybody approved, I'll give you $1,000. I said, okay, cool. Thanks for the information. For them to give me $1,000 just for sending the customer, and he's also a middleman, he's not a salesman, how much money are they making on the customers? If they're going to give me $1,000 just for sending someone with bad credit to them, how much are they making on the deal? Arms Reach, congratulations. Just got my book. You use it when, please send me your email testimonial. Well, as you use it, just as you do your equity assessment, everything, email me. Congratulations. How much are they making? We can imagine, right? If they're giving me $1,000 just for bringing them the customer. So this is what happens when you let the dealership control the loan. Because why do we separate? All right, I'm going to break something down I call the 3 pillars of great car deals. Three pillars. You can't get a great car deal without maximizing each pillar. And some of y'all that have been with us for 3 years, y'all already know the 3 pillars. First, who you buy your car from. Second, who you get your loan from. Third, who you sell your old car to. That's 3 separate transactions. The car business has trained you guys to give them all 3. All 3. The car business has trained you guys to give them 3 transactions. Anytime you purchase a car, who's done this? Be honest. Purchased a car from a dealership, sold them your old car, in which case you call it a trade, and they got you your loan. Who's done this? 3 transactions in one. Why do we know these are 3 transactions? One, there's competition. People want to buy your car. It's okay, Corey. That's that. Thank you for being honest. That's how we change. The reason why we know that these are 3 transactions, because there's people who want to compete in every one of them. There are people who want to buy your car. That's why step 2 in our book, we never trade. We get offers from CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, AutoNation, Car Gurus, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer. It's a bid. We just had someone sell their lease. Miss Hickman, she sold her lease, made $4,700 selling her lease. CarMax won the bid. Drove the car for 3 years, had equity. She dropped her lease off. They gave her $4,700. Won the bid. That's one pillar. Second, who I'm going to get my loan from if I'm getting a loan. Those of you who are paying cash or leasing, this is not a pillar. But we need to bid out our loan. We had a great talk yesterday on our show yesterday where I asked, who do you guys get your loans from? Most people said the bank, the credit union, the dealership. One person said the right answer, whoever gives me the best APR. That's the right answer. And then we have who we buy our car from. There's banks and credit unions that want to compete for our loan. There's multiple dealers who want to compete to sell us a car. So we can't get a great deal until we have bid out each pillar. And that's why when we have bad credit, if we let the dealer now control, this dealer has a car. We didn't bid out that car to find out, is it a great price? Now they're also giving me the loan and they're charging me 25%. We didn't bid that out to see, is that the best loan I could get, even with my bad credit? Is that the best loan I can get? So the key, what you want to do first if you have bad credit is I'm online looking for anyone who will finance me with bad credit separate from the dealer. I'm not going to Carvana.com and saying, hey, you can get a car with us you can get a loan with us as long as you buy a car from us. You're mixing the transactions. You're taking away my ability to get bids. I'm finding someone you should check out. There's a resource. Oh my goodness, what's the name of the company? It's in my book, but I want to give it to you. Goodness, it's slipping my mind right now. Send me an email or a DM. Because here's the thing, if you use just that part and get the loan funded, but you don't know how to bid out everything else and structure your transactions, and are you keeping the car 8 years? Because if you're not keeping the car 8 years and you're like, Deshone, I hear you talking about leasing, I'm not keeping my car 8 years, but my credit's not good. The only purpose, if you telling me that I could be driving brand new cars for cents on the dollar, but I don't qualify right now, this car that I'm going to get is to set me up. So I'm not going to get a $30,000 car. I'm going to get me a $12,000 car, $10,000 car, the cheapest car I can get a loan on so I can establish a payment history. And once I establish a 2-year payment history, yeah, I'm going to drive a car less than what I could drive. I got the money. I could afford more than this. But you're not setting yourself up for the right transaction. You should be setting yourself up and saying, all right, I'm going to sacrifice with this car, drive something that I know this is not my ideal car, but I'm going to build 2 years of payment history. So when I go and I swap into my lease in 2 years, I'm out with a brand new car. I'm paying cents on the dollar and I won. But it was a plan. It was a long-term plan. This is the second most expensive purchase of your life. You can win every single time, or you can lose and set yourself and your family back 5 to 10 grand each car or more. Every time you get a car, it's 5 to 10 grand more you're coming out of your family's bank account than what could have. Then you got the car breaking down. Now you got tow trucks, all because you don't have an actual plan you're rolling out. And that's what I see a lot of people do with bad credit. Oh man, I got bad credit. I'm just going to go and get me something. I could afford $600 a month. And they go and buy the most expensive car. But because 25% interest is on the loan, they're not getting the most car for their money. Now, 3 years down the road, they're going to pay the high payment, still have negative equity because the interest is so high. And then they go and swap and do it again. And because the payment's so high and the car is older, because they want something fancy, but they really can't get that because, again, the interest is high. That's eating into their budget. Now they're going 3 years down the road. They missed 3 payments. They were late 3 times, so they're no closer to leasing. Credit's still bad. This is disaster. So if you're a long-term person, I break it down for you guys into two groups of people: long-term, short-term. Long-term high mileage driver, short-term high mileage driver, different plan. Long-term bad credit person, short-term bad credit person, different plan. If I'm a long-term person with bad credit, here's what I'm doing: finding the absolute best car I could find, getting bids, either new cars or used cars. We got the strategies for both. You can use the marketplaces, cars.com, Car Auto Trader. We got a whole strategy for how we find used cars, but you find that car, you pay your loan of 20%, 19%, 18%, if that's the best you can get. Because here's what you're going to do. In 2 years, you're not swapping into a lease. In 2 years, you've established a payment history, you fixed your credit, and now what are we going to do? You got a quality car. You're not thinking about trading it. You're not thinking about replacing it. You're like, man, this is my car. It's a great car. I'm just paying daggone 20% interest. What do I do now after 2 years? Now that my credit is good because I got a quality car, dependable car, I focused on fixing my credit over 2 years. What am I going to do after 2 years? Anybody? Thank you, Arms Reach. Refinancing the car. Exactly. Exactly. So that's the bad credit long-term strategy. Great car, dependable car, car's not going to break. This car is going to last me 10 years. Right now, when I bought it, 20% interest rate. That was where my credit was. But I worked on my credit. Boom. I'm a 690 now. I'm a 720 now. I'm refinancing that into a short-term, into a shorter-term loan, and I won. Pay this thing off, and I'm going to keep it. Nothing to talk about leasing. Leasing only comes into play where the 8-year rule is concerned. I'm not keeping this next car 8 years. I should be setting myself up to lease, or I should be leasing. That's how I'm going to save the most money, keep the most money in my bank account, have the best car. Not even close. Not even close. All the wins for the purchasers are after 8 years. People who are like, man, Sean, I got a car, man. I had this thing 12 years, man. It's been paid off for 6 years. I ain't had a payment. I love it. Long-term purchaser. You won. You won. Who's in that situation? Who has a car outside that they've had for more than a decade? Paid off. You can give it to your son. You can give it to your daughter. It's an extra car. That's purchasing. That's the wins. That's what we call the reward stage of purchasing. But you got to get there. All right. All right, let's go. A lot more questions. We got probably another 20 minutes we'll stay on, so let's keep it moving. But again, Lend Buzz, that's the company. Lend, Lendbuzz. They started, I started seeing them about 18 months, 2 years ago, and they were loaning to people with, international students, people who didn't have credit. You want to try to find a place that will fund you independent of the dealership. That is what your goal is at all times. Independent of the dealership. Here, you qualify based on your income and your credit. You qualify for $18,000. Go find a car now. That is what you want. You don't want people mixing the bank loan with the car and two pillars that they are controlling. We're controlling the price of this car. We're controlling your interest rate. We don't want that. Yep, exactly, Cindy. For those who just joined, this is our Tuesday, May 6th live. We do these lives Monday through Thursday at 12 noon, so you can tell your friends, family. We wanted to now come up with a constant and consistent time where I can meet with you guys. If you don't have, if you can't stay the whole broadcast, we will replay these throughout the day, because sometimes people got to jet back to work. They're watching us on the lunch break. You can catch up on the whole rest of the show throughout the day, all the way up until tomorrow, and then over the weekend, we'll play a whole compilation of all the shows for people who really want to dig in and hear all the questions that we answered throughout the week on, Monday through Thursday. But if you want to join us live, set your calendar, set an alarm, meet us on any channel. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube on the Deshone the Auto Advisor channels, 12 noon, Monday through Thursday. All right. Let's go. Next question, Dolan. All right. What are your thoughts on purchasing used versus new? It's a great question, Kathy. For me, it's a matter of budget and values. It's only a matter of values if you can afford both. So if you can get everything you want in a new car for your budget, everything you want, everything that you need, and you can afford it in a new car, you have the option to choose both. So it becomes a matter of values. In my book, I teach, are you a person who's like, I want to reward myself. I only get a new car every decade. I'm going to keep this thing 10 years. I want the latest and greatest. Therefore, I'm going to shop and get the best offer, get me a below market purchase. Because y'all notice I always put in a caveat of a below market purchase, below market lease. That's all we're talking about here with Cars from Home. That's all we're talking about. You need to, every purchase you make or lease you get, you want it to be a below market lease or purchase. So now, if I could afford both, is it I'm going to reward myself with a new vehicle, or do I have these other values where I actually want to knock 20 to 30 to 40% off the price to get even more for my money? So that's really up to you if you can afford both. There's no right or wrong there. It's a matter of, like I said, the values. Now, some of you once you look at your budget, I have a tool in my book and in our video checklist, the coaching program called the Perfect Budget Calculator. We invented this. So it's not on Google. You'll hear a lot of the stuff, almost nothing we teach. You're like, if you ever go to look for it, the 8-year rule. No one talks about it. We created it. This is our intellectual property that we created to teach you guys to create these boundaries, the rule of 72 and the 10th birthday, 1.5% rule for overpaying for leases. These are all things that are absolutely proprietary to Cars from Home. But one of them is this perfect budget calculator. Sometimes when we're factoring budgets with most calculators, they don't include fees that we know dealers have. And I'm talking about legitimate fees, tax, documentation fee, motor vehicles. So we're putting our budgets together, but we always get caught out there. Who's had that happen? You got it all figured out. You get to the dealership, you bought the car, and they're like, well, what are you going to do with the fees? Because you got $3,000 in taxes and fees. And you're like, whoa, where'd that come from? Sometimes they're lying and sometimes it's legit. But none of these calculators factor in the fees and everything like that. So we created this perfect budget calculator that does. But here's the thing. Once you find out what your budget is, even if you're budgeting with a normal calculator, just add a couple thousand to account for the taxes and the fees. But you might see, I can't get everything I want in a new car for this budget. Everything I need, I can't get for this $24,000, in which case I need to go and look for a pre-owned one. So that's why I said, in reference to your question, Kathy, what are my thoughts on purchasing used versus new? It's a matter of values and budget. Budget first, because budget will determine if you can afford both and get what you want. But if you can afford both and get what you want, then it's a matter of values. Okay? So again, everything we're going over is in my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's 5-star rated. Thank you to everybody who has taken the time to rate it and review it on Goodreads.com. It means a lot. And we can't continue to get this information out without you guys. So we appreciate you. And you can get your copy instead of $97, you can get your copy for $24 as part of our welcome offer. So that's 75% off. If you go to my link in my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, and the Facebook comments, we have a link there for you guys. And you can grab it. It's a digital book, so you don't even have to wait. It'll be in your inbox by the time you jump off the stream. But make sure when you get it, you screenshot that thank you page, because it has my support team's email. Sometimes you may be rushing, you're trying to get back to the stream and you type your email in wrong. Also, as soon as you purchase, the link to open the book is right there. So it'll say open the book below. You can save it to your computer. but I would rather you get it for $24 than $97. Although we've sold a lot at $97 because people feel it's worth every dime. You're going to save thousands and thousands of dollars for the rest of your life using what's in the book. Your first transaction, you probably save $4,000 to $6,000 to $8,000 depending on the car. So $97 is great, but $24 is even better. All right. And for those of you who have a different learning style, you'll see in there, shop with Deshone. You're more of a do it with you person. Do it with me, Deshone. Okay. We have lifetime access to shop with Deshone, and I coach you personally for 6 months. So we jump on Zoom calls twice a month. And some of you who may qualify for done for you, just do it for me. If you qualify for that, we have a welcome special for that too of $300 off. So get in where you fit. And those of you who are new or you're like, Deshone, I like what you're talking about, but I still don't trust you. You can start with our free cheat sheets. So just start somewhere so that you can start to reinvent how you're car shopping. Magley, how are you? Oh man, of course I remember you. Following for years. You actually were following me from the time God blew me up on TikTok. That was 2021. So I absolutely remember you and I appreciate you. And yes, it's so good to see you. Absolutely. Absolutely good to see you. All right, Dolan, we got a couple more questions. We got time for a couple more. Let's try to go as fast as possible. The discount for the book is not working. It says time ran out. It's 30 minutes. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all help me out. I don't know what to do with that. I'm sorry. If the welcome offer for $24 was not really 30 minutes, then that means I'm just lying to you. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh yeah, it's 30 minutes, but come back in 2 hours and it'll still be, you know what I mean? It's, start with the cheat sheets. You know what I'm saying? Like start with the cheat sheets. Get yourself your free cheat sheets, and start there. And when you feel better about working with us in some capacity, you go to the next step. Start with the free cheat sheets. All right, let's go, Dolan. So I'm a new driver. Should I be looking to be an 8-year person or a lease person? Well, I'll tell you this. I got 3 young adults. My daughter, my daughter who's 18, my niece who's 20, and then a young man that I, basically like a son to me who's in the Navy and he's 21. Well, he'll be 21 this year. So he's 20. Now, they all called me in the last 3 months because my daughter's getting her license. My daughter didn't call me. She's getting her license in the next, in June. And we've all talked about this. How should I get this car? Now, my situation when I was 22, I'd already bought a $500 Mitsubishi Eclipse. Transmission went out on me probably after 6 months. And then I bought a buy here, pay here car. This is before I got into the car business. I got into the car business, I was 22, working for Pontiac GMC Buick. So I get this buy here, pay here car. It was a quality Chevrolet Cavalier. I didn't know anything about cars, so I went to a local spot. They said, hey, put down this, just pay us $50 a week. So I did that. But 22, I had my daughter, and my boss says to me, hey, why don't you lease something? And I was already selling cars, but I just didn't think, could I even, qualify for a lease? I don't even know what I was selling them, but I'm just literally doing what most salesmen do. All right, he wants to lease. All right, what's the payment? Yeah, tell him it's this. All right, perfect. They said it's that. Oh, that's a little too high. All right, they said it's a little too high. All right, so that's what I was doing. I didn't really understand anything. That's most car salesmen. So I end up getting a Pontiac G6. I'm 22. I pay $256 a month. Now, it would have been less, but I didn't get a tier 1 approval because I didn't have, I think my credit was like mid 6s at that point. And you know, you really want to be over 670 to get most of the tier 1 approvals. But it would only raise my payment maybe $25. Wasn't a lot. Now I'm 22. I'm driving a brand new 2007. It's still 2006. 2007. I'm pulling up, brand new car, full warranty, $256 a month. At the same time, I have a friend got a vehicle, Toyota, financed it, went in. She had, you know, we had our, she had a young child, a little older than us, maybe 1 or 2 years older than us. And then she goes and she purchases a car, $500 a month. She didn't get ripped. That's what a $20,000, $22,000 car costs. She got a Corolla, $500 a month. We're 22. Plus insurance. This is enough to break a young person, young family. I'm paying $256, she's paying $500. That right there. When I tell people that story, it's amazing to me how many people will say, Deshone, when I got my first car, my parents took me out, we financed this car, we financed this. I was paying $400, $500, $600 a month. Whether the parents were paying some of it, or they were paying some of it, or they were paying all of it. Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate you sharing. So this is what all of them, all three, well, 2 of them, I don't know about the young man, because his parents, I'm not going to override your parents. And if your parents tell you that they think you should buy a used car or buy a good, then okay. But I'm just telling you, when you see my daughter and you see my niece pull up in brand new cars and they have low payments and they don't have to worry about getting stranded on the road, hey, call the tow truck. Do we still have a warranty on this thing? So I would be telling, again, 8-year rule. Because if I've had young people in their early 20s who are like, I'm not even into cars. Like, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to keep this car. Like, I'll keep it 8-10 years. And I've had some people who they know when they get a better job, when they move to this, they're going to start a family. They're probably not going to keep the car 8 years. So it still goes back to the 8-year rule. Always, always. Most people should be leasing their cars. That's how I did very well throughout my 20s. Praise the Lord, because I did not have high car payments. I didn't have cars breaking down on me where I had to be like, oh man, couldn't get to work today. Not many 20-year-olds, 23-year-olds are keeping cars 8 years. So when you're putting them in used cars, you're really setting them up for failure in a lot of cases, compared to if they were just leasing, getting look, because some people be like, wow, are $300 car payments still out there? Oh yeah, they're still out there. Just you just are shopping for the right car. I know India had her look, Rosalie, she's in our Done With You video checklist and coaching program, like Cars from Home. She's, you know, this is our Facebook group she's commenting from. 3 vehicles she got, all for her sons, all of them. A Nissan Rogue, $399 a month. That's a $36,600 car. She got a Mazda CX-30. That's a $28,200 car. Payments $339 a month. $339 a month. And then she got a Mazda CX-50 for her other son, $40,000. On top, we haven't even talked about the equity and leases and selling leases and, you know, really maximizing her equity, because she said she got $6,700 selling 2 of the old leases. $6,700. Drove the cars for 3 years, had equity, bid it out, sold 2 of them, $6,700. You're probably like, Deshone, I didn't even know you could sell a lease. My question is, how much has that cost you? So when you're looking at investing in anything we're doing, be it my book, be it Shop with Deshone, our video checklist and coaching, be it our Done For You program. One thing that we do covers everything. Your first deal, if you're moving, you're gonna be like, shoot, I got everything I just invested back times 10. That's what we hold ourselves accountable to. Just her equity alone, she's made $6,700 selling 2 cars. Didn't even know I could sell leases, and I just put $6,700 in my pocket selling 2 leases. Whoa. So $300 payments. Those would be perfect cars for young people. $339, that's with no money down. Imagine if she wanted to put another $2,500 down, bring the payment down to, $275. This is the way to be moving. And those of you who are getting this, are you getting this? If you're getting this, type some dollar signs. Who's getting this? Who's getting this? Type dollar signs in the chat. Who's getting it? Let's go. Who's locked in? All right. I see you, Mario. I see you, Dane. I see you, Terry Carter. I see you. Who's getting this? Who else is getting it? Who else is locked in? A lot of y'all on here. Listen. I see you, DJ and Nice. I see you, Arms Reach. And I can tell the people that's locked in because they be like, all right, Deshone, you said you here for 90 minutes. I know we got about 3 minutes left. I'm hanging for this whole thing. I don't want to miss anything. Shout out to the people that are locked in. All right. Go ahead, Dolan. Should the out-the-door price include your trade? First of all, that's a curse word. All right. We're going to go back to that because I got out of saying that for a while. We do not trade cars. So you probably just popped in maybe about 30 minutes ago on the stream. We were talking about the 3 pillars of great car deals: who you buy your car from, who you sell your car to, who you get your loan from. You in order to get a great deal, a below market deal, you must get a great deal from each one, which means you bid out each one. I bid out, got multiple offers for who I was going to buy my car from. I got multiple offers for who I was going to get my loan from. I got multiple offers for who I was going to sell my car to. I bid out everything, therefore I got my great deal. If you bid out this, but you don't bid out this, and somebody you get an interest rate of 7.1 when you could have got an interest rate of 5.2, you lost $2,000. Depending on the cost of your loan, how much you're financing, you lost $2,000. Yeah, you did a bid on who you bought the car from, or you didn't bid out your trade, therefore you didn't find the highest bidder. You traded your car for 14. Another bidder would have paid you 18. You lost $4,000. So you got to bid out everything. That's why we do not trade. The only people that have to trade are people with a lot of negative equity who can't pay off the difference. And that's why I am the reason for negative equity is not understanding leasing. You buy your cars, take out loans, switch the car. Negative equity. It's literally the reason for negative equity is I should have leased, but I didn't. Now I have negative equity because I'm replacing this car with a loan still on it. So out the door price will not include your other car. And if I was trading a car, then yes, the out the door price would include the trade. But because we do not trade cars, our out the door prices don't include the trade. Let me show you an example of what our out the door prices look like. So these are some spreadsheets for our Done For You program where we shop for clients. You can see here, this is we shop for a Subaru for this particular client. In this case, look, and you can see the MSRPs for this car is an inexpensive car, $27,000, $26,000. Look at the out the door prices, 29, 30, 30, 29, 29. These are all out the door prices with the taxes and fees. So you can see these dealers are giving either no discount or a little discount. 27 out the door price is 30,000. But look at the winner. Look at the winner. This particular dealer won the bid at this particular time They're not going to win the bid all the time. In this particular case, they needed the unit. $27,900 is the MSRP. Out the door price is $27,463. The out the door price is lower than the MSRP. How? Because they took off almost $4,000 in discounts. Almost $4,000 in discount. So every time you shop for your used cars or new cars, this is how you should be shopping. If you're not leasing, this is how you should be shopping. I'm getting multiple offers, out the door prices, comparing who gave me the best offer. Who gave me the best offer? Oh, look, Daniel Thompson said, D, I'm bidding out to sell my car and got a $4,000 swing from the lowest to the highest bid. This is the people who you listen. If I can bring them on and have them talk, they would be talking to y'all about how different this is. I didn't bring you here on a Tuesday afternoon, or you're not watching this. If you're watching the replay later on Tuesday, or maybe, Wednesday morning, we go live at 12 noon, Monday through Thursday. So we replay the show just for everyone who missed it. You can send all your friends, family, go to Deshone the Auto Advisor's pages, watch the replay from today's show. But they know this is, I didn't bring you here to talk to you about hundreds of dollars. We are talking thousands of dollars at all times. There is never anything that we talk about that is hundreds. Let someone else talk to you about how you can save a couple hundred more per month. We might be talking about hundreds per month. That might be the only time we're talking about hundreds, $200 per month. But other than that, which equals thousands. We're not here to figure out how we're going to save $50 this month. No, this is big, huge money. So thank you, Daniel. Thank you for tapping in with that information. So, all right, listen, guys. Everything we teach is in a step-by-step format, because when it's not step-by-step, you'll get overwhelmed. When it's step-by-step, you can challenge yourself to stay right on this step, check it off, move to the next step. Check it off, move to the next step. Step 7 in our Cars from Home process is delivery. Step 6 is paperwork. Step 1 is the most important question, which is the 8-year rule. It's literally called the most important question. 8-year rule. How many years are you keeping the next car? Step 2 is the equity assessment. That's why you heard Wendell in his book testimonial. He said, I just completed the equity assessment and we got 30% more than the book value. Bidding it out. He said, I'm about to move to the next step. So everything we teach is step. Step 3 is deal structure, where we budget and we see, all right, how much car can we afford? What does a good deal look like? Step 4, we go shopping, which is choosing what we want. Shopping, looking, doing. We're not buying it. We're shopping the market. We're test driving. We are literally choosing what we want. Shopping, enjoying shopping. Step 5 is multiple offers. That's when we're in talking to dealers online, getting offers, getting bids. Step 6 is paperwork and protection to make sure that the offer we got is legit. We tied it up. Paperwork is right. We go over extended warranties, tire and wheel, maintenance plans. Do we need them? Key protection. Do we need any of this stuff? And step 7 is delivery. It is a step-by-step path. That is how people win. They're not coming into some college to learn how to be a car salesman or to learn everything I know. No, it's a path. So if you want the blueprint in book form, that's my digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps of Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Normally $97, part of our 30-minute welcome offer. You can get yours for $24 in my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, and the Facebook comments. Click those links and then click the special $24 welcome offer. It's good for 30 minutes. And you'll save 75%. If for those of you who are like, Deshone, what about that video checklist? That is our Shop Done With You program. Cars from Home, Done With You. You get lifetime access to everything we teach, all our below market videos, and it's short videos. I want you guys getting cars in 90 minutes. 90 minutes. Not shopping. The shopping might take you longer. Deciding what you want, you might be doing that for 2 months. But once you decide what you want, I want you to be able to get below market deals in 90 minutes. That's how I do it. We're not hours and hours to get these car deals. Some of these deals we make in literally 45 minutes over a 3-day period. So that is how we do it. And you'll have access to our coaching program. We do Zoom calls twice a month, first and third Wednesday. And you have a Facebook group with 1,600 people in it that have come before you in the last 3 years. And then for those of you who qualify for shop with done for me, just do it for me, Deshone. New cars, new cars and leases only. Credit score has to be over 670 FICO. Book a call with our team. Let's see if we can help you. All of those have welcome specials. The book is 75% off welcome special. Shop with Deshone is $200 off welcome special for 48 hours. And done for you is $300 off for 72 hours. All welcome specials for people to say, all right, I'm taking action. I'm going to take advantage of a lower investment for taking action immediately. And for those of you who you're still new here, you're like, Deshone, I like the information, but I need to get, can I get some free advice first? Let me test out some free advice. You can, of course, go download our cheat sheets, and that's there as well. All of that is in the Cars from Home Toolkit. So always a pleasure. We will be back tomorrow, 12 noon. Please mark your calendars, tell your friends, bring a friend, and we'll continue to, we'll continue to do what we do and try to make sure you guys have everything you need to win every car you get. I want you sending pictures with the numbers. You know you've done it right when every car you get, you have pictures with the numbers. You know people who purchase cars all the time, all post their pictures. Hey, had to upgrade. Oh, just got this. Hey, had to treat myself. Oh, watch it now. But you never see the numbers because they really are not confident in the numbers. They don't want to talk about the numbers. Everybody who shops with us, whether you're getting our book, whether you're using our stuff, and sometimes people who they piece together my social media videos and they'll get it done. But they are sending the numbers. Look at what I paid for this car. Not only did I get a great car, but look at the deal I got on the car. That's when you know, all right, you understand this thing. All right, have a great day, y'all. See you tomorrow. And if you couldn't make the whole broadcast, feel free to watch the replay. We'll be replaying it throughout the day until tomorrow's show. All right, have a great day, y'all. Thank you. God bless you.